You know, I started speaking like, oh, I think I'm set up and ready to go, and my microphone wasn't set up. It reset my settings. Also, Carvia immediately came into the stream and dropped a 44-month resub. I appreciate the 44-month resub there, Carvia. That is a whole lot of months right there. Holy crap. I am doing something different today. I'm gonna turn up the brightness of my light there. I need as much light as possible. Let's just flashbang it in here. Really see what's going on. So, in a little bit over a day, a little bit over 24 hours, I'm going on a trip. I'm gonna be away for a few weeks. Gonna be spending some time in Texas. Gonna be spending some time in New Orleans. Gonna be touring around that kind of area. And there's things I gotta get done before I go on this trip. I've been busy with university. I haven't gotten them done yet. Some of which is painting, and I really wanted to stream before I went, but I also gotta get stuff done. So screw it. This is a painting stream now. And the category is set to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 2, because it basically is a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 2 stream, because I gotta finish my guy here that I've been working on, if I can move the camera properly here, to, well, the camera's upside down. The camera's flipped because of the angle that it's at, so, I mean, what's the best way to do this? I can take off individual pieces, because I'll transport him in pieces here. So I've got this most of the way. This was an 18.5-hour 3D print with a metric shit ton of supports for things like this, since I can't exactly print in midair. And I'm almost done with it. This is probably just gonna take a couple more hours. I've been working on this on the side for like the past week, honestly. And it's a little bit of insanity. I might actually, just to make sure that I'm not getting any paint like on my pants here, just do that and then grab the paper towel that I was using for Dialga here before. Move off some cookie crumbs from munching baked cookies earlier. And these parts do not really stay together now because they're not glued together. They printed separately. And I figure transporting them in pieces is going to be a whole lot easier than transporting them as one piece. It's gonna break if I transport it in one piece. Heck, I might still break anyway. Yeah, freaking bet. It's been a whole lot of months and it has been worth. Glad to hear it, Carvia. Enjoy another month of the emotes and the sub badge and all that stuff there. And yeah, so I mean, the tail's basically done. I've basically just been watching like YouTube while looking at reference images of Dialga. And I've been using this acrylic-y paint stuff that I'll move over here so I can actually use it. I've just got my DVD stream playlist on shuffle here. It's my different brushes, glass there. And when you first put it on, it really doesn't come out super clearly. It's like half faded, half on there. So I need to go over these like 3 or 4 times over and over again, which takes a really long time for parts like this, especially as I'm trying to be really careful not to get over the lines. And if I do, then rip off some paper towel, wet it, wipe up the area, and then try again. That's basically how it goes. What if there's a better angle for this? Like if I did it from the side here, or from this side looking down. I don't know. This is normally like my 3D print cam over there, so the cable's a little bit funky. So, I mean, I could do this and then flip it back, is what I could do. So, like, let's see here. If I transform and then I flip horizontal, no, never mind. Flip vertical. I'm dumb sometimes. Yeah, like that. You see a whole bunch of 3D printed crap over there for me to take on my trip and give to a couple nerds. So I gotta get this cable out of my face here now. Whoa, what have I done? There, something like this-ish. I don't know. There, that's not bad. That's not bad, right? So yeah, this has been my little project here. So basically all I have left is the lines on this side here. I did the ones on that side. And then the ones on the side of the head, that'll be like somewhat under this. That's gonna be like the biggest pain in the butt ever. And I'm not really looking forward to, honestly. It's not really gonna be fun. So yeah, well, see what happens here. So, and if I have some more time at the end, like if I get this done in a relatively timely manner, then I'll just switch to playing some Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, I did hear about that. It's been posted around the Discord server a whole lot lately. I'll try to get this as symmetrical as I can on the other side here. And we'll see here, grab some more of this orange paint. So yeah, this has been a lot more hours than I was expecting going into this. I should have recorded like how many hours it was because, man, this has taken a little while. I think this was the main brush that I was using for this. So yeah, enjoy like the only time that we're probably ever gonna get a painting stream here. Is the case of painting a Primal Dialga here. Oh, and I guess there's a dagger over there that I might need to paint too. And maybe I'll paint the relic fragment at the bottom a little bit. Because I have this that I printed too. And it might look a little bit better with like some black kind of marks on the bottom for like different rock and stuff like that. So we shall see here. So the actual line that's there, I tried to get pretty symmetrical, and I think that's good. As for where this lines up, the front leg is going to have like another little line, that camera on the side to match up with that thingamabob there. So that can be like that on both sides. So I'm gonna need to figure out that with the other front leg here and then paint a little bit on the back of that. So to be, just put this into perspective here, to be equivalent with this other one, let's see here. I have that on there, then it should go down this one side, and then yeah, be down this side of the leg. Okay. I can do that. I'm probably going to mess this up a few times trying to get this symmetrical. It's easy to get the first one because you just set it as whatever you want it at. So, looks like I did like mostly straight across, somewhat downward a little bit, and then rapidly down towards the bottom. So I'll try to do that at that line is where it meets on this low poly Dialga thing. So I'll just put a little marker here of this line is kind of where it meets. You didn't expect this. I warned you that I was painting a thing that I'm bringing for you to New Orleans there, if you tune into the Stream to Stream. And I just gotta finish it. So, PMD2 stream now. I guess you can't, I guess you can sort of see what I'm doing if I turn it up like this. And then where on the line it meets it is not too high up, actually. I mean, the lowest part is like there. Something like that. So, I mean, when I initially put on a line, it only appears like that. So it takes a little while. Twitch mod view features on mobile now. Hope, is that what you think it is? Probably not. Probably not, I don't think here. It would have been a complete surprise, but like, I gotta get this done before going on the trip because there's like one more day here. And I'm running out of time, and this is gonna take me a few hours yet to finish painting this, so here we are. So that's gonna go up to about the midpoint-ish. So I mean, I think that's down like this, and it meets there. And then I can adjust these lines as I need, if I need. I gotta get this tail out of the way. So, but yeah, oh man, Creeper. That's something that I thought about printing, but I didn't. I still have some time if you want me to print you a Creeper. I've seen some designs online. I tried printing a Creeper once, like back when I first got this machine, and it didn't go super well, and I haven't really tried since then. So that goes sort of down a bit. Have this line kind of match up. Don't know if you can see it past this here. Play whatever game we want to play on PlayStation first before moving to Final Fantasy 16 there for that thing. Let's see here. So, I mean, like, no, it goes down a little bit more on the other side, which means that I need to do that more across. So that's like, okay, but then this needs to come down a little bit more. I have like little bits of paper towel here that I've been tearing bits off of, and then, okay, if I do this, did I just miss my trash can? Just put that there. And dry this up a little bit. So this is kind of what I've been needing to do for like little micro adjustments and stuff. Just kind of wipe that up a little bit. I thought I definitely got my trash can. So now it should be a little bit better. Top priority is giving it to you, highly suggesting. But you said there was a Persona game that's PlayStation exclusive? I don't believe so. I think that was one of the things that people wanted me to play for a really long time that I couldn't because it was PlayStation exclusive, but then it came to other consoles and I eventually played it. Being P5 there. Is this about the same? Well, be careful not to get my thumb in it or anything. So across like that and over. Not quite yet. I'm redoing the whole line. I don't like this. It's not quite right. I'll redo most of the line. I can leave like the base there and stuff. But yeah, this is my plight. This is something that I've been doing on the side for the past week. So let's try that again. And it needs to go more line across and down. Also, I'm starting to get really warm. What the heck? And sniffles. I'm still recovering from being sick. I also didn't really get a whole lot done over the past few days because I ended up getting really, really sick. I have been getting better. I should be better before my flight. But, like, I did my final university final, like, in general, with such a splitting headache and, like, a pocket full of ibuprofen and stuff here. I was popping as the exam was going on. It was a great time. Let me tell ya. Just how fun that was. I'm very glad it's done. Don't have to do that again. I don't have any more finals. I just have like a research paper that I need to finish up now. And then I'm done. But I don't know if I'm going to finish that tomorrow. And I mean, I can do it anytime until the end of the month. And I'm probably going to end up writing a research paper on the adaptability of a large language model through the game that I've made while I'm on the plane. So what I'm probably going to end up doing. So yeah, that'll be fun. Won't it now? So it goes across a decent bit there, and then, yeah, I basically got it. Maybe a little bit over more, if I wipe that off. Like a little bit over more, and then it starts going down, like that, and then it'll lead into the leg. Sort of. Yeah, I mean, like that-ish? Is that about symmetrical? Maybe. Yeah, let's see here. Sorry, I hate yourself for saying this, but the shape of that absolutely looks like a flashlight. What, this? Here? Yeah, I ended up getting really, really sick. I don't think I'll end up giving anything to you, Guzma. I should be better by then. Like, I have been on the recovery. I've been feeling a lot better today. And I got a lot of stuff done today. But I was really down bad for a little bit there. And right during that final, too. I believe this is a Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright theme here, which is really nice, actually. Been recovering lately, too, a bit. Oh, geez. Hopefully we're both fully recovered by the time that... Is that good? Like, just the symmetry? Yeah, down bad. And yeah, that's the case for a lot of people there. There was someone that was really, really coughing, just hacking away when I was doing that final exam. I'm glad it wasn't me. That's sort of symmetrical, right? Allergy system, yeah. Fair enough. I think I basically got it. Allergy season, that makes more sense. I thought you were saying, like, the immune system, how it reacts to allergies and stuff. But either way. There we go. I mean, I should probably let this one dry a little bit before I put the next one on, so I don't just smear this around. I'm gonna start putting the line onto the leg. That's what I can do. So from what I saw from, like, Dialga 3D models that I could turn around and stuff, it seems like the one side on the leg, it doesn't quite go down all the way. It's basically just like a point, is what it's like that. So I'll try to match this in terms of distance down here, roughly, I think. Still gonna be coughing sometimes. In addition to being busy, I also didn't stream earlier because I was sick. But also been wrapping up this research project, so like, hold on, I gotta make sure this is perfectly lined up first. Like, so that line is lined up there in the exact way that it needs to be before I paint on, and then it's gonna be like out of line or something like that. Like Origins from Legends Arceus? No. Well, let's see here. That's about lined up. So I can just put down my markers here. For about this width. Oh. Yeah, so about there. So that's lined up now. Okay. And then I can do the actual point here on its own. So let's see. It's about yay much down. Do I have my measuring tape here? I have a measuring tape. If I want to try and get it exact, something like that. I mean, okay. And so I mean to about here-ish. Something like that. So I'll just, yeah, just draw like the initial line, and then I can form it together and stuff. Oh man. Let's see here. Something like that. Oh, try to get that just right. There. That looks something like that, I think. There we go. The voice actor for Lego Yoda? Don't tell me I sounded like Lego Yoda. Use my finger to make it into more of a point. Take off just a little bit. If I can. I don't know if I can. Oh, a little bit. Sort of. I don't know. Alright, something like that. Something like that-ish. But yeah, I did for a second. Alright. This might be starting to dry over here. So yeah, one layer on just looks like that. So I need multiple layers to look like that. That's the case. So it takes a little while. I kind of have to do it multiple times. Move that over there. Get this other leg out of the way here. So yeah, this has been a process. I actually printed this thing about like a month ago. I just had it sitting on the side. I probably showed it on stream sometimes, just unpainted. I've actually had it for a little while now. Because it was one of the first things I wanted to print in preparation for this trip. So I did it early on. I was like, oh, I'll paint it eventually, and then things were kind of last minute. Because university semester was busy. I mean, it's still really busy right now, but it's like, I can't wait any longer. I gotta do it now, or it's not getting done. So here I am now. Literally just over 24 hours away from the trip and just now finishing it. And as fun as it would have been to be like a complete stream project, man, that would have been also like really, really boring. You got like the good part where it's just wrapping up here and stuff. But yeah. Alright. I mean, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I mean, I can put it together here if you want. Again. It, which one was this? This was this one. Yeah, it's been a bit of a process making this. There, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't stay together very well because, because nothing's been glued together yet. Because easier transportation. And it's also a little bit easier in painting where I can paint the individual parts and stuff. Get in there. And that goes in there. Like that. And this goes there. Like that. So it's been a little bit of a task getting this all put together. It helps with colds, sickness, vitamin C play, vitamin C packets here that you take every morning, but you can get vitamin C from orange juice too. Yeah, I've had a little bit of orange juice and stuff on the side. I've been popping a few cough candies and stuff here and there. Do I have any more in my drawer? No, I have them in the other room. I'm fairly certain. Or in my jacket over there. But yeah. I mean, I could always paint this side like this. One fell swoop now. You won't be able to see it. And I don't have as good of light on it, so I can't see it super clearly. Alright. Time to come apart again. Let's see here. So the side that I'm actually focusing on. Take that head off. Should have gone for the head. Alright, I could probably put another layer onto this here. But yeah, this thing has been a major pain in my butt. Quite frankly. But I've actually really quite liked the way that's come together. Makes me kind of want one. But I don't know if I have the energy to make another one of these. It's kind of the case after how many hours this ended up taking. So as much as I would like one for myself, and I could make one for myself considering I made this one, I don't know if I have like the time or energy commitment Especially considering when I'm back from my trip, I'm gonna immediately be coming home to a lot of busyness, because that's what I'm gonna try doing, like a whole bunch of grafting stuff with a whole bunch of trees, and that's like a time limit thing. I gotta do that pretty fast. Then like right in mid-May there, like not put it off for weeks is what I mean. And at my workplace where I work under my mom part-time, it sounds like she'd like me to start working there like more full-time oriented part-time, and has a lot of tasks for me to do. I'm so dang behind on the stream schedule. Games like Persona 3 Reload on the schedule, I don't think I've touched that game for like 2 months. Like, I'm so behind on that. I really wanted to start making more video essays when I got back, but like, I don't really know if I'll have the time to do that. I'm gonna try to fix up my truck when I'm back. I ordered a part the other day that should hopefully finally fix it, but then I'm gonna need to like tune it for that part and make sure everything's working and commit to that. I might continue development with one of my university project games, so that might keep me busy there. I was planning on helping out Guzma with his game a little bit too, but like, I might need to wrap up some of these other projects and then do stuff with him later, is what might have to be the case with everything that I'm coming back to here. So like, what the heck? I'm just making more of an open spot here. So it'll be a nice break from things for a few weeks, but it is just putting my already being behind on everything else even more behind. So I'm going to be coming home to a little bit of hecticness and stuff. But yeah, past few Dialga prints you made have always just broken. Yeah, that's why I printed a massive one that transports in pieces. But yeah, meaning if you're able to make time to do this during the middle of everything going on right now, sure, you can make on later in the future just as long as you don't lose the print for it. I mean, I'm doing this while I have a research paper that was technically due tomorrow, well, today, it's after midnight, that I'm like halfway done, that is going to be like the final thing that I need to graduate, and I'm doing this right now instead of that. So I don't know if I'd really say I have available time on the side to be doing this per se, but I'm making time for it because I know that I can figure out the research project and I can postpone it a little bit. Isn't it due before May though, the research thingamabob there? The latest possible due date is April 30th, and my professor established to me that he's willing to have the due date just be April 30th if I want the most time possible. When he asked me about due dates about a month ago, I told him like the day before my trip so I don't give myself the excuse to write while on the trip. But at this point, with everything going on and the fact that I've had like no time for anything and it's been a little bit of craziness, yeah, I think that I'm gonna be writing this research paper on the plane and then at your place. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit. So I might be staying up late, sucking on your Wi-Fi, writing a research project. Okay, this line needs to be thicker. It's definitely thicker on the other side, I'd say. Also, hello, Reggie Bump. I saw that earlier and my brain like registered it and then I didn't say hi, and I'm not even looking at chat, but I'm saying that because like it just now clicked to me to like, wait a second, I don't think I said hi to Reggie Bump. Whoops. Yeah, something thicker like that-ish. Meh? Is that about same? Did I make it too thick? Or maybe a little bit thicker upwards, take out a little bit of the bottom? No, it's so dang hard to... I don't know how people like professional painters do crap. My aunt has been visiting for a while lately. She's really good at painting. Maybe I should have just asked her. Too late! Too late now. Hold on, let's see here. Ah! But yeah, I'm doing this now because it's like, this is the thing that has the deadline of finish it by tomorrow. My research paper technically has a deadline of like April 30th. So I'm getting my priorities straight to finish the things with the closer deadlines here. AKA the things I'm bringing along as like a gift on this trip. And putting off the final thing that I need to graduate here. Well, I don't need it to graduate, I don't think, but... man, would my mark for this research project suck if I was just like, yeah, I'm not finishing this research paper. That'd be really unprofessional of me. But yeah. Just make sure your men's large and t-shirts, right? Probably. I believe so. I believe that is a yes. Why were you picking something up there? But yeah. And he's not really extending the time. Like, when he was asking me about the due dates about a month ago, he was just straight up like, you can set the due date as whatever you want, but April 30th at the absolute latest, just because I need to have the marks in by a certain time, just as, like, university guidelines. But I'd let you do it, like, sometime later, if I could. And I was like, all right, let's set it to April 22nd so I don't give myself the option to do this on the trip. But then I realized I don't have enough time to do all the things that I need to do before the trip unless I finish this paper on the trip. So, yeah, there's that. So, and it's been really interesting writing this research paper, because if my light thing can go... What the hell? I just updated you yesterday, why do you want another one? Get out of here. And my Elgato Control Center thing will not go away. You love to see it. All right, I guess this is just permanently on the bottom right of my layout here now. So, and I've never written like an official like research paper like this that I'm going to try and get submitted to a, not necessarily a games conference, more of like a games and AI conference to see if they'll officially publish it. And I'll have like published work that I can have my name under, and yeah, we'll see here. It's still a work in progress, but I'm putting it together. it'll be interesting. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, priorities in a nutshell. Yeah, I gotta finish the gift for Friendo, because I gotta finish this before I go. And I can just finish this while I'm at his place. I'll just finish this, like, at his house, on his Wi-Fi, on his couch, is what I'll do, I guess. I'll try to do a lot of it tomorrow, but there's a lot of other things I need to do tomorrow, too. So, I mean, we'll see. I wouldn't mind doing, like, some actual playthrough stream stuff tonight, and then having, like, some more content that goes up while I'm away. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to finish up this research project stuff, like, soon into, like, the finals week stuff here. And then once finals were done, it's like, oh, I'd have several days that I could just commit to streaming stuff and then catch up on some things. Nope. This friggin' project. I finished the actual game part earlier today, and my goodness gracious. Also, I don't think I put many layers on this back part, so while I'm waiting for this to dry a little bit, I'll put some stuff on the back here. Doesn't the plane have paid Wi-Fi too? I'm not going to pay for Wi-Fi on the plane. I'll just download the document from where it's at and then just work away with what I have in my head and what I know I can do. And then if I need to add citations later, I'll add citations later. Or like find certain sources that say things on online later. That could be a priority for when I have Wi-Fi. I don't know exactly how much airplane Wi-Fi costs, but from what I understand, it's like ludicrous, and I have no interest in shelling out for that. Sounds like a waste of money to me. I mean, several hours on the flight. It'll give me a lot of time to work on that. I'm just sitting around big chillin'. I'll probably play a little bit of Unicorn Overlord, grinding in that. I have been, on the side when I want to take a break from everything going on, I have been making a little bit of progress on my True Zenoiran save that I started. I think I'll definitely be able to, like, continue with a True Zenoiran playthrough by the time that I get back from the trip and just resume from where I left off. Because I'm already, like, halfway through Cornea, because turns out when you already know what to expect from the game, you can breeze through it super easy even on True Zenoiran. How many pages that need to be? It doesn't have to be any amount of pages. It's just make these sections and make good arguments good enough that it will hopefully get published by this conference. So, yeah. I know the teacher thing is just something you had already bought. I want to make sure you got the right size. Oh, well, I greatly appreciate that. But you remember the plane you had when you went to Canada was free, which was super weird, but it might have been because you had a premium flight or something? Can't remember. Oh, interesting. I'd be surprised if there was free Wi-Fi on a plane. What is my camera looking at? That's a yellow thing over. Oh, I'm used to looking that way with that camera. That's like one of the things you use for dust. I was like, what kind of yellow thing do I have on my shelf? I was confused. Turns out it's actually something completely different. I did that just to throw people off the set, Noah. I just looked over at OBS and I was genuinely confused. But yeah, I just remember that some people probably wouldn't enjoy if the source is that you made it the fuck up. Yeah, and I found out from doing this that you gotta cite, like, everything. I think there was a line that I had in there that was, like, it was something along the lines of AI in video games is, like, or adapting AI in video games would most commonly be done through reinforcement learning, not through stuff like a large language model that's adapting here. And my prof was like, you need a source to cite that. Any claim you make, you gotta cite that. So I tried desperately to find like surveys across like all these different kinds of games and what kind of AI they use most commonly. And if I can't find anything, then it's like, well, I'm just not gonna make that claim and I'm just gonna say something else. I've had to do that for several points. Oh man. Or even things like because it's a large language model project there, the most common large language model most people probably know is ChatGPT. So one of the claims I had was like, oh, most people don't know how ChatGPT works, or the average person doesn't know how it works. You need to have a source for that. I couldn't find a source for that. So I changed my argument to ChatGPT is a black box model, which means it doesn't tell you how it works, which can make it difficult for people to understand, like, as they're using it. So I've had to very drastically change some of my claims, so I'm not, as Senator Armstrong would say, in that shit post, I made it the fuck up. Because even though it feels like that should be true, that most people don't know how ChatGPT actually works, I can't say that unless I have a source that says it's true. Or provides like a very believable argument as to why you should believe that it is true. Does that look okay? This line is like so clean and so good. And this one is so like smeared outside of it. My source experience, trust me, bro. Got ChatGPT without someone made the entirety of Skyrim. ChatGPT, nice. Alright, I'm reducing the borders of this a little bit, because I think I might have gotten a little bit lost in the sauce on this one. And I don't need it to be so wide. Okay. Then a little bit more paper towel. And dry that up on the outsides there. So, yeah, it's been a little bit of an experience, I must say. And I thought that I would have a lot of time to commit to this research project in these final couple of weeks, but my goodness, during the not crunching, we don't crunch in game development university, we grind. In the grinding for my group project game, that figuring out a lot of stuff last minute there and finalizing that was a little bit of craziness there too. Oh, I guess I can just dab this in a little bit of water there. That's what I can do. That was some craziness. And then studying for my couple finals, getting those figured out. They weren't actually as bad as I thought they'd be, which was kind of a relief, especially considering my striking headache during one of them. So that was good. All right, so that's the good side. This is the side that I'm painting now. That looks better, right? Probably, I don't know. This side feels shorter and this side feels longer. Is it just the way that it's printed? Like this goes farther? Is it further ahead that point? I don't think so. If it is, it's by very little. By a very, very slight amount. I don't know if I'm going crazy or what's going on here, but this feels longer than this. I mean, maybe it's fine? Because, like, the actual shape of the lines is basically the same. So I don't know what happened here exactly. But, I mean, short? Long? I mean, if it's a model on a shelf, you're barely gonna notice it. I don't know what I do to fix that. It's just, like, magically longer. Did I do the shape of the line slightly different? Does this one come down at more of an angle? I'm so confused. This is fine. I'll paint it like this. Most restaurants here don't really need resumes. What? Just come in and work a couple of days and see how well you do, and they decide from there if you're fit to work there or not. Literally experience. Some places do need a resume, like New Orleans Convention Center. Yeah, game development and computer development kind of stuff, definitely a resume. Can't really tell the difference. Okay, maybe I'm just losing my mind. I'm gonna paint it as is and forget about it. This is what I think I'm gonna do. This is Firewatch music we're listening to right now, I'm fairly certain. So, yeah. That's been my recent happenings here. And of course, on the side, I've been trying to paint this. There have been a couple other things I've been trying to paint on the side. Most of which are much smaller things, and most of which are done. There's... No, that's done being painted. There is a thing over there that I still need to paint that might be kind of difficult to paint, and I'm kind of debating about just not. But I could probably do it without too much time. I mean, it's a kind of crisscross pattern where I have to do dabbles in all these little spots, so I don't know how well it'll go. I'm not sure. Get right into that corner there. That little spike that I made. There we go. Yeah. And yeah, that do be something important there. Which is why I'd really like if I could add my research project to a GitHub repository. And I spent about an hour earlier today trying. And even though GitHub has worked just fine for me in my group project, my research project, it just refused to work. And I couldn't push anything. In fact, GitHub was like, add failed. We can't commit anything. We can't add it. It failed when we tried. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was kind of pissed off about that. Wasn't exactly very happy. Let's see. Yeah, just get that back bit a little bit. The tail was like the first thing that I did. So is this like the same shade here? I mean, it'll get a little bit darker as it sets. Yeah, I can do another layer on the tail while I'm waiting because some of that is like, meh. It could be better. I'll do another layer on the tail. While I wait for this to dry. Oh, man. Man, you have an old Roblox sound effect from 2012? What, with my coughing and stuff here? It went, you failed? What did I say that sounded like you failed? Wait, what? Here. Yeah, I didn't do as many layers on the tail when it was the first thing that I did. And I think that I was going to add some more, and then I had to go do something, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then didn't add more layers. So let's make this a little bit better here. That's what I will try to do. Methinks. Try to stay in these lines as best as I can here. As best as I am able with my inexperience in painting. I think the last thing that I ever painted was that hat. I mean, I've done no. I was about to say I've done very minimal painting on some 3D prints before, like my Pokeballs. But now that I think about it, I actually painted a little Hot Wheels truck that's the same kind that my dad has, a 1949 Mercury. It's technically a 1949 Ford Hot Wheel, but it's the same truck, basically. I painted it in the colors of his. Was the case. I did that a couple months ago. So I guess that's actually the last thing that I painted. And what, I still have some of these brushes from, and I kind of forgot about that for a second. But then I remembered. Okay, my hand feels unsteady. Let's rest that onto there. Give it some support. I got a little bit over the line there. I can use my nail and take that off, sort of. Tiny little smidge of paper towel. Just get the little corner there. There, back in the line, I think. Get the little point here. We printing Grovile Time Gear statue. I assume that's painting. So this may not be your last. I assume that's painting stream. Well, if I have the time, I might just be one of those things that I put off for quite a while because I'm gonna get back home to being so behind on like everything. So, yeah. It'll be a nice break to go on this trip. But man, am I falling behind on like everything during this time away. And I'm gonna get back to a little bit of a frantic household here. Is what I think is going to happen. Alright, distribute some of that paint. I don't want to leave any blobs or anything. That would be kind of ugly. Wipe some excess there. Just a single layer. None of these blobs that are going on here. There, that's better. And this spot here. But yeah. There's also some pieces that'll be easier to take back with you. Well, that's good that it'll be easier for transport and stuff. Yeah, and then maybe the tail should get one more layer after this. I don't know. Part of me is just about ready to be done with this project here. It's kind of what's going on. because yeah, this has been a bit of a time sink. I'm really liking how it's coming out though. Like when I'm done with it, I'll definitely have to take a lot of pictures of it. So whenever I talk to anyone about 3D printing, that's one of the things that I can show and like wow people. Because even right now, it does look pretty cool assembled. Like back when it was just dark blue, it's just like kind of like, okay, yeah, that's just a big model. But when you have all the colors and stuff, it's like, whoa, that's so cool. The thing that took the most time was definitely the head. Like that thing, my goodness gracious. I had to use like my tiniest brush and be so careful not to get over any areas that I wasn't trying to. Especially with like the eyes, because I actually painted on the eyes. So that was a little bit of a challenge, I must say. The eyes weren't actually too difficult. It was mostly like the silvery bits, just because of like how much I needed to do with them. The eyes are just like a drop of paint. Just get it in the right spot and move it around a little bit, and then you're good. Basically what was going on with that. Okay, get that tail tip here. Ah, all the sniffles. Wish I could just not be sick. At least I'm feeling a whole lot better than I was. There we go. Looks a bit better. Hello, X-Rit. Hello, is that Primal Dialga that you're doing? Yes, 'tis indeed. I mostly just have the one side of the body. I'm adding a couple layers to the tail here. One side of the body, and then I gotta finish the head. Some lines on the head. This should be pretty dry to redo this now. But yeah, welcome on into the shenanigans here. I've never done a painting stream before, but I'm going on a trip soon. And I gotta get this done as a gift before I go on that trip. So, painting stream tonight is what it is. All of a sudden. So this was a 3D print that I did. The actual print time itself was about 18.5 hours. And they all print in like individual pieces. And they would print with supports and stuff like that, since this would be floating in midair. The head was kind of a big pain in the butt to print, because you need supports all the way down these horns, or else like the plastic will droop as it cools. And yeah, so I had to be really careful tearing supports off of this here. It was kind of awful. But I got it. Figured out. Oh, you love to hear the bloody tears in there. You love to hear Sticker Brush Symphony and bloody tears. I love how when remixers do that kind of thing. 18 and a half, more accurately. I mean, I can show you the actual print times on my printer if you want to see it. Let's see here. Like, that was just like my rough adding up. If you want an actual number, I can, let's see here. Boopity bop, here's my printer. And it is still displaying this. I don't know why. Can you screw off? Oh, what? Is that... Can you go away now? No, I told you to not update today. Okay, let's see here. If I go to my files, and then I go to... Let's see here. It was Pokemon, and then the Dialga. Yeah, let's see here. So yeah, I printed one of each of these, and then like the alignment pins, which is just like the pins that go into them and keep it together and stuff. That I guess I gotta show that camera now. I printed those in black because it doesn't matter. Let's see here. So the alignment pins, the last print duration is the important number here. So this is like the estimate. This is how long it actually took. So that's about 17 minutes. The body is definitely the longest one. This piece here, so 5.5 hours on that one. It looks like the front left leg, 1.5 hours. Front right leg, 1.5 hours. The head, 3.5 hours, a lot of which is the supports. About 1 hour 16 minutes on the rear left leg. About 1 hour 20 minutes on the rear right leg. And then the tail is about 1 hour 13 minutes. Is what it is. So it took a little while. Definitely took a hot second there. But yeah. Yeah. Glad to hear that you're having fun with that challenge, Carvia. I'm surprised at like how many attempts you've done there. Super Mario Kaizo? I think I've heard it before, but I don't actually know exactly what it is. Which one's more... Was I just doing... I think I was just doing this one. Let's add one to this. Also, I had heard of like a Kaizo Pokemon thing as well, but I didn't know exactly what it was. And Carvey, I'm going to be honest, when you told me about it, yesterday, last night, whatever it was. All my days are blending together. I kind of had to Google it, like mid-conversation. I was like, holy crap, what? So, yeah. But Carvia, don't tell Carvia I said that. I want him to think that I definitely knew what it was. Let's see here. There, got a little point there. Yeah. Little bit of craziness. And I didn't even get the chance to read all of the conditions. So I don't even know what would be done to make you not be able to make it past the lab. I did not read enough conditions in that case. I'm not a true gamer. I wasn't familiar enough with it. Sucks to suck. I should be getting to about done on the side here. I think. Should be about getting there. Maybe just fill in this one area with a layer after. Probably do the tail here one more time. That's what I'll probably do. Because it's still kind of dull. I feel like. Right? What? The camera's there. Right? Oh, there we go. Focus in. Yeah, it could be better. Wish my sniffles would just go away. Wish I could just stop being sick. I mean, I should be in a couple days before I get on the flight, but we'll see. I'll probably bring a whole bunch of cough candies and stuff. I am stocked up. Yeah, definitely a whole lot better than I was 3 days ago now. Doing that final exam. Man, that sucked. I'm glad the exam felt like it was relatively easy. Till it turns out my grade sucked. But hopefully, if it was as easy as it felt like it wasn't too bad, which I was really, really grateful for, considering my headache at the time. It was a really, really bad time for me to be doing that final there. But yeah, that's you never heard of it until you randomly tuned into a stream recently, learn about it from there, and decide to try it yourself. Absolute mad lad. What a dude. Next, you gotta try it with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. This is what you're gonna have to try it with next. After you beat it with Fire Red. Explorers of Sky is next. Start, you choose level 5, whereas your rivals is 8. Cannot use healing moves, cannot buy potions, cannot use TMs unless you get one from a gym leader. Brock has 5 Pokemon, so getting past him is one of the biggest hurdles of the challenge. And your Pokemon faints is over, so you gotta reset. So like, Destiny Bond sucks. Happened to you earlier. Oh. Yeah, I imagine it would suck. That would not be a fun one to deal with. Yeah, definitely not the way that Pokemon was designed to be experienced. Not exactly a challenge that was probably designed to be very beatable. I wouldn't think. Oh, yeah, that's good here for now. Wait for that to dry a little bit. Do this side here for now. All the sniffles. You can also kind of tell where, like, the different parts of the print are. Like, in terms of how this was oriented with the print bed and stuff. So, like, on the bottom here, you can see the texture of my build plate, so you know that's the bottom. And you can see here where it has those kinds of lines where it's like, yeah, that's it filling in the top. And then something similar here, but not as much. And then it's just, like, layer lines there where there's not as much of that. But yeah, if you look close at the print, you can literally just tell, like, the way that it was printed on the machine. Like, the direction. Interestingly enough. Hey, now we get some Pokemon Mystery Dungeon music talking about it. Not PMD2 music, but rather the game that we're currently doing a playthrough of, well, on and off with how busy I am. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, which, if I get this done in a timely manner, I would like to stream some Super Mystery Dungeon tonight, but, like, we'll see. We shall see here. Alright, finish this layer on the tail. Get that done here. Let's just see. Paint this in. Like that. There we go. Something like that. I can spread that out a little bit so it doesn't gloop up or anything. There we go. Tail should end up looking a whole lot better than it was before, I think. Probably. Oh my god. Do not get orange paint on my keyboard, please. But yeah, let's see here. Oh, you can only have one Pokemon on at one time. Forgot that. Oh, your team brain going crazy for all these runs. Yeah. Also, evolution are random. So, like, you had a Mareep evolve into a Voltorb and you died after that. My goodness. Sometimes you'd be getting, like, Pichu versus Zapdos or something. Wow. That's pretty crazy there. Can you cancel an evolution? Just press the B button. Here, I just want to fill in that area where it's still a little bit blue. The actual side there, the way that turns, is that kind of like the other side? Pretty much. Maybe a little bit more upward here. Turn that into more of a slope-ish. Or something or other. I don't think I'm very good at this. I don't think. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Any other kind of blue spots? These brushes are kind of starting to fall apart, and they're, whatever the lines are, whatever the actual brush part of it is, starting to go everywhere. So it doesn't even paint super good anymore from all the use here. Because I guess that's what happens when you use brushes a whole bunch. I wonder if there's some way that you could, like, re-stick it together. I do wonder. Mayhap. But maybe that's like some forbidden painter jutsu that I, as a very novice painter here, would not be familiar with. There. That might be good. The tail is mostly good. I might put one more layer onto that, just for like the lines, since there's really long lines there. But that's probably pretty good, getting the other side now. Definitely insane. There's also Super Kaiser, where you have to pivot to one Pokemon in the Safari Zone. No one's beaten that yet. The world record just got broken the other day. Wow. Craziness. Yeah, maybe I'll do like one more tail layer here. And then I'll do the head, and then I'm done. I say do the head, and then I'm done. Like, the head will be a short process. That's going to be the much harder thing than what I've been doing thus far. No doubt about that. Because I thought I had the head basically done with the top line. And then I was looking at more things of Dialga, and I realized that there's lines going down the side, kind of underneath those arches and stuff. And I was like, oh, well, that's going to be like the biggest pain in the butt yet, potentially. So, yeah. Fun times, no doubt. One day, I'm sure multicolor printers will become cheap and accessible, and I can just 3D print something like this in the multiple colors and have it look awesome coming right out the printer, rather than needing to do all this work in post. Because, yeah, the time to paint this has definitely been a lot longer than the time to print this. I have no doubt in my mind about that. It is a really cool print. But this might be the only one I ever do, because holy crap. My goodness. Bit of insanity. There we go, and get to the end over there. And get this one here. Welcome back, Reggie Bump. But yeah, let's see here. I'll probably call it on the tail after this. I think that side is good too. That's what I'm kind of feeling here. Try to get that whole area there. Ah, all the sniffles. Man. It's not fun to be sick. Most definitely not. There we go, and then the last little smidge is here. Wow. If I can do this right. Just wipe some of the paint off there. And scrape up some of this stuff. Grab a little bit more. Chinos. Then do that. Let's see here. Here we go. There. Something like that, ish. I'm sure a non-low poly version of Dialga would have like these tail ends be on either side and not like touching each other at the top. But I wasn't really sure how I was going to do this when it has like the clear 4 sides, and the way that this connects up to here is like that. So I just kind of made do with what I was presented. And I think it looks fine with them matching up at the top there anyway. I'm sure that's okay. Okay. So here, because some paint is starting to dry at the top of this now, so let's get a refresh here. Imagine if amongst the remixes we got one for a fight to the finish near the end. That would be like a lo-fi one or something like that, because this is my DBD stream playlist. These are like my chill tunes. If this was my epic battle playlist, then there would be a whole lot of Dialga's fight to the finish in there. But there isn't. What if we just put on like a playlist of all the Dialga's fight to the finish remixes I know? I would just listen to that while doing this. I have to put together that playlist. But yeah, just play a whole bunch of Dialga's fight to the finish. Been a lot of fun. Made it to Elite Four twice so far. Elite Four is brutal. I believe it. Time we played Fire Red back then, you would battle every single trainer in the game so you could set up the best team without switching Pokemon. By the time you got to the Indigo Plateau, still be under level by 5 to 10 levels. Oh jeez. So if your original copy right now, actually that's pretty cool. So like most of the head is done. It's just apparently there's orange lines like here underneath the horns, and they kind of go down the neck is apparently how it goes. I might need to pull up another reference image. I think I had one on this screen over here. I'll drag it over to that screen because I have OBS on this screen and I want to keep seeing OBS. Yeah, it's not gonna be fun because it's like that. So I mean, what? In fact, maybe I should use my smallest brush for this at first, because this is, yikes. Not gonna be fun. There, that one's a closer up one. Just use this as reference, I guess, for on this screen. So that line downward, is it gonna be able to go down? Can I work with just the headpiece, or will it reach down onto the body piece? I think from the look of it, I think it should reach a little bit of the body piece, like just underneath there. Now I can do those bigger lines in like my big brush, and then while I'm doing some stuff up here, use my smaller one. Man, this is gonna suck. These lines I've been dreading. Oh, here, I'm done with this now, I think. Should probably make sure that it matches up okay before I finalize things here. Let's see. Come on, get in there, darn you. There. There. Matches up, I'd say. It's pretty good. Alright, off. But yeah, let's see here. Fire Red Leaf Screen is essentially the Faithful remake before the Faithful remake had become a meme. I meant that I had the troubles regarding the difficulty curve as the original games had. You'd love to see it. Also, the head and the body don't quite fit together flush, because along the build plate that it prints on, that's the area that it'll especially expand during printing, like as the plastic cools. Or as that area, I guess, it cools, but it stays a little bit hotter than the stuff that's been printing like in the middle here for a while. Like obviously not as hot as the stuff being actively printed. But anyway, point is it expands. So this isn't quite flush. The headpiece goes over this a little smidge. You can barely see it on the camera. Like it's not quite completely flush. There's a slight lip sticking up from the headpiece. I could sand it down, but then it would also look ugly, and you could see that I've been sanding it, so I'm not gonna do that. So just one of those things that you just try to not notice, I guess. But yeah, let's see here. Her Bulbasaur evolved into Grovyle, Pog, PMD2 shoutouts. Man. Jeez. It'll be really cool to be able to look at this and be like, hey, it's a Primal Dialga that I made myself. I mean, I didn't design the model, but still. Apart from the 3D model, made it all myself. I'm also out of this blue now. I ran out of it a couple days ago. So, reference image there. So, do I want to mark the point that it'll be at lowest first here? According to the reference image, it looks like it's only just above, like, this little arch here. So I should have the end of the point be like that. That dot there is where it'll go down to, I think. I think that looks good. Probably. I'll just have at it and let's see. Yes. Hope for the best. There. So there's like that. I mean, if I draw the general line, I can kind of shape it later. So just all the way up, kind of straight up, and then probably curve in a little bit to start going that way. That's what I'm thinking here. Friends of the Groviles we made along the way. That's right. Wiser words were never spoken. Maybe not curve up that much yet. I don't end up breaking this while I'm doing that. That'd be rather embarrassing, wouldn't it? Yeah, this is gonna suck. As I thought it would. I mean, part of it does start curving. It kind of goes two ways. It kind of goes like that, actually. But yeah. So maybe that's what I'll do. Well, I'll just go straight up for now. I can focus on the line. The sacred line. That's what I can do first and foremost here. Pretty sure I made the point too big. So I'm fairly certain I did. I might need to smallen it, shrink it a little bit. That's what I may just have to do here. Most likely. Which I can do. Okay. Come on. But yeah, an okie doke. Take care there, Reggie Bump. But yeah. I'm also glad that there's like a full other conversation going on in the chat, since I'm kind of struggling to engage when my focus is like right down here. Kind of become like conversation over there while some guy on the screen just so happens to be painting. Which works for me. Get some little smidges on the side there, I guess. Just because there's some lingering effects of that wider spike that I do not really want to be lingering effects. Ideally. Let's see. Song of Storms. Let's see here. Man. It was actually super duper windy earlier today. But yeah. Penguin from Batman 1966. Oh man, you watched that last week? Wow. Okay, let's see here. Maybe I should do the point in like my finest brush. I don't know. Ah. Dang it. It's because the bristles, I think that's what they're called, are starting to come apart a little bit. So I got the tiniest little line outside of the area that I was trying to paint. Just a tiny little dot that's really annoying me. It's kind of hard to get my thumb in here underneath that shield part. Jeebus. I can't do it. Ah! My fingers are too big. Got it along with the point that I made. A bit, and I kind of smeared it a little smidge. I might just make the whole point a little bit longer here. Doing it without a... What? A what now? I better have been doing it with a what? No, you stay on there. Here, I'll bring my spike down a little bit lower. I think it'll look cooler a little bit lower. So if it's down to like there-ish, that's probably good. Looking at the reference image. Maybe the tiniest little bit lower? Just a little smidge more of it. This brush is so crap now. After how much I've used it on this. It's not exactly very good. Let's use it to wipe up some crap here now. Stay! Just grab some of that stuff on the outside. Well, paper towel. One last smidge here. Because there's one tiny little bit there that's kind of annoying me. Fun. Got a little part of it. Oh no, I got it, I think, basically. There. That on there. And the general line looks like that. It goes down that far. Man. Yeah, you would definitely want to... you'd want a speed hack for that. Okay, you stay. You'll stay when you're glued, but that's not going to be for a little while yet. Okay, let's see here. Now I can line a bit better. What I can do. Like that-ish. There. So it goes up the neck. Immediate first thing that I'm thinking now is that one scene from SpongeBob where Patrick's like, it's a giraffe. Okay, how does this curve? Kind of like that. Goes up like that. Be careful not to get orange on the horns. Smear that in there. And it curves up around the other way. So yeah, I just did that curve. Get out of here, brush. I'm gonna have to do this twice. One for each side. So then... less curve, more curve? I don't know. And yeah, it is a good question. How does he know? I take off less curve. We'll see if I end up getting to stream Super Mystery Dungeon tonight. Man. Or whether or not. Time for some Legend of Zelda tunes. Is what we'll have here. Was this Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword? I might need my littlest brush for this. This is so awkward and weird. Oh, no, I'm getting it. Yeah. Something like that. Ish. I'll use my little brush and paint a little bit back there and up to the tip. Or something. I don't know. Now fill in my line a little bit. Trying to get the right angle of the light so I get bright light, but I also don't get glare that's blocking me from seeing what the heck is going on. I just got some on the... yeah, I totally did on the chest piece. Damn it. I didn't get it all. Dang it. Or the chest guard, or whatever you want to call it. There we go. Got off there. Seen any footage from the newest SpongeBob seasons? They hired Meat Canyon. Wow. But yeah. Sounds like something they do. Because SpongeBob does like its random, out of nowhere shots that are just like disturbingly different. And just like really gross. SpongeBob has enjoyed doing that for a long time, to be fair. These'll be the lines. In that case. This brush is getting more and more spread out. It's kind of becoming harder and harder to use. I must say. If I can get some of this off of there. Yeah, not exactly. I don't know. I don't know how exactly I'm going to manage this. Basically just refilling in the area that I just took out. Guess that's the way it's going to be now. Alright. May as well start working out on the other side. I mean, just draw a general line first. So basically try to center, well, align it as best as I can here. To the center of the neck. There's about yay far down. About a little bit under there-ish, I think. I can draw under there-ish when I'm actually drawing the point. That's what I think I can do. So, I mean, there's no real good angle to do this at, is there? It's kind of awkward. Yeah, This brush is getting pretty spread. There we go. Line all the way up to the top. Relatively centered. As I paint it, the line will become a bit thicker. And I mean, yeah, just slightly lower. Spike it out. Not by a massive ton, I don't think here. Need to go too ham on it. Just a little smidge. Oh, draw that up to there. Is the line thicker on the other side? A little smidge, but I'm sure I'll thicken this out as I draw it. Probably. Probably, at least. We'll see here. But yeah. Let's see. So awkward and weird to get at this. I mean, I could just paint the head on its own now. Not have to deal with all those spikes. So I could do, and then just do like the little things there, because I should now have my little lines to align it with. So I don't have to worry about being off of the designated spots. The pieces should line up from here. I know there's a whole nother conversation going on in the chat there that I can't quite follow because I'm constantly looking down. But I can chat about some more stuff going on like around here in the meantime. So I recently ended up going to this grafting event, essentially. It was a scion wood exchange. So when you graft a couple plants together, the thing that you're grafting onto another thing is called a scion, and the thing that you're grafting onto is called the rootstock, like the thing that provides the roots for the thing that you're grafting on. So the scion wood exchange is just basically this event where a whole bunch of people come together in this gym area at just a school. They have all these different stands set up, selling all sorts of fruit tree sticks of all sorts of different things. It was mostly apples. Next most was probably pears, then plums. Then there was also like a few apricot sticks that people had. One person had grape sticks, interestingly enough. Grapes aren't very commonly grown here, but there are some hardy types. One person even had peach sticks. I was kind of surprised about growing here in the middle of Alberta. But apparently they survive okay. Just doesn't fruit every year. But it's still pretty cool. So I ended up picking up several apple sticks to graft onto my almost crab apple tree, which I put a couple sticks on there earlier today, since I'll be gone for a few weeks, just to see if, like, they take. Since it's, like, third week of April here right now, it's April 22nd. I'll be back in the middle of May. So things are waking up from dormancy right now, and it sounds like the best time to graft them will be, like, active growing period, so, like, mid-May when I'm back, is when I'll do a lot of grafting stuff. But I wanted to just do a trial run earlier today. So that's what I did, and I grafted on a couple sticks. I thought I did a pretty good job, but we'll see because I've never grafted before. And we'll see if by the time that I get back home, those are doing okay. I also have some plum sticks to put onto a plum tree at my family's lake cabin, because we used to have two, and a porcupine came and ate one. Now the other one, like, it can't pollinate itself anyway. So on its own, it doesn't really do anything. So may as well graft other things to it, and then it can pollinate itself with those other branches. And maybe try to protect that one a little bit better from the critters. Might try to get like some PVC pipe to put around it, so a porcupine can't even climb it. Keeps the trunk protected, so I can't get to the branches up higher. We'll see. We'll try doing something like that, and then maybe put something else in the spot where the old tree died. Maybe we'll put another plum tree. Maybe we'll put something else. Maybe we'll put a cherry tree there. One of my cherry trees in the backyard that I have in pots are coming back to life. My Oma has a whole bunch of sour cherry tree suckers in her yard. I dug up a whole bunch last year and put them into pots. And they kind of lost a lot of leaf matter at first because they were separated from their root system, the whole sucker root system, and it turned out they didn't really have much in the way of their own roots, I found out when I dug them up. So they were losing leaves to retain moisture and try to survive. But some of them looked like they were basically dead. And I was a little bit worried. Left them all outside for winter so they could go dormant as part of their regular cycle. One of them is coming back already. And all the suckers in my Oma's yard right now are coming back, so I guess at that time of year. Hopefully some of my suckers that I have in pots in the backyard will start coming back soon too. But one is for sure survived. One looks like the buds are swelling. So it'll probably make it too. It's kind of hard to tell right now. But hopefully. And hopefully I'll come back and find that a whole bunch of my cherry trees have lived. Because if so, maybe that spot that plum tree died, maybe we'll put a cherry tree there instead. And then I can graft like cherries and stuff onto it. And maybe even plums. Since they're related stone fruits. And I did pick up some sweet cherry sticks at that grafting event thingamabob to try and put onto some sour cherry suckers in my Oma's yard. See if in addition to that sour cherry tree, get a sweet cherry tree to grow one day. That would be kind of cool. So you have ones that are good for baking and ones that are good for baking as well, or fresh eating. That'd be neat. So yeah, picked up a lot of apple sticks, a lot of plum sticks, and a couple of sweet cherry sticks. I think I got 13 different varieties of fruit in total at that event, and 7 of them were given to me for free because a lot of people were just eager to give people opportunities to try grafting. Just like, oh, you want to try grafting? Here, try this out. Put this on your tree. Or if people were heading out, like they've taken these off of their own trees. They're not going to take them home and then put them back on their trees. They've been pruned off. Like if nobody buys them, then they're just trash, I would imagine. Green bin. So some people that were heading out just gave me sticks for free. Where it's like they were packing up and they were like, what kind of tree do you have? And I was like, oh, I was looking around for some plum sticks. Here, try this kind. It can pollinate itself and it's a great plum. And I was like, oh, okay. Stuff like that. And so I gave people like that 3D printed pots for free in return. And they seemed to really like it and think that it was really cool. So glad that I made some people's days like that. But now I have a whole bunch of fruit tree sticks in my fridge so that they stay dormant while I'm gone. And then when I'm back in mid-May, I'll take them out of the fridge and try grafting them onto a whole bunch of trees. And see if my grafts take. Man, jeez. Also, hello, Azure Sabra. I guess I missed when you came in here. And I probably missed a whole bunch of other stuff going on there. But that's okay. I'll just be over here in my own little world. As I continue to look down. Usually when I'm streaming, I can multitask chatting with everything going on in chat really well. But in this where it's like active attention and eyes down here constantly, it's like, yeah, I don't think this is as good of like a stream thing to do as I might have initially thought. That might be. It doesn't seem quite as good. Also, I was sniffling there. I almost said Jesus, and that reminded me. When I was visiting at my Oma's place earlier today, there were a couple people that came to the door that were trying to tell me that if I basically hear them out and all of what they have to say, I'll be safe during the Passover. And I was like, no, I'm good, thank you. And they were like, but it's God's decree. It's the Passover that's coming. I was like, no, we're good. And they just looked kind of surprised and disheartened that I didn't buy into their fear-mongering tactics. So that just reminded me of that. But yeah. And I found out from just grafting on a couple sticks earlier today, turns out grafting is a whole lot of work. I did also prune like a whole bunch of stuff off the bottom before I did that. So a lot of that effort was towards that. But still, it took me a decent smidge longer to do it than I was anticipating. But some sticks are on there. They are secured. They should hopefully heal. Hopefully they are attached on there super well. It was really, really windy after I got home. I secured them with grafting tape to seal in any moisture so they don't dry out and die before they heal. And then I attached electrical tape to that just to keep it in place and keep it from going off. So electrical tape is pretty strong. So let's hope that the electrical tape holds everything there. We shall see. I'm glad that I managed to find a roll of electrical tape before I went over there. Maybe I can figure out something better than electrical tape before I grab more things on. I don't know. Electrical tape is probably actually a pretty good option for keeping everything fastened, I would imagine. It's pretty good stuff. I could always do just straight up duct tape, but that might be kind of overkill. That's what it might just be. I don't know. I don't know. I'm completely new to the world of crafting. I'm glad that I did manage to get a couple in before going on this trip. Because, yeah, that few week time period away will be perfect to come back and be like, did I do it right? Did I not do it right? Do I need to change something in my technique because these didn't take? Or is it just fine and I can go ahead and graft all the rest now? Stuff. That'd be pretty neat. One of the coolest sticks that I managed to find at that Silent Wood Exchange was a Red Wonder Apple, which is a kind that I only found out about semi-recently here, but it's one of the kinds that I've been growing from seed, most likely. I don't have for sure confirmation that that red fleshed apple that I had a while back was a Red Wonder Apple, but most likely it is a Red Wonder Apple. There's people in the know that see the image keep on telling me, and it looks very much like a Red Wonder Apple from what I've seen, which is a little apple with red flesh. So it's about yay big. So it's a medium-sized apple. It's not really little. And while most apples have like a yellowish, whitish flesh on the inside, that one is red, which is really, really cool. And I thought it tasted pretty darn good too. So I'm growing some Red Wonder hybrids that are crossed with something, and I'm like 90% sure are Red Wonder. It might be something else. I'm growing those ones from seed. That I have a few in the room over there. But seeing a stick there of Red Wonder, I was like, I gotta try this. So I'll try grafting that onto my almost crabapple tree when I'm back. And see if that crabapple tree that she grew from a seed is capable of making some red fleshed apples one day. Because that would be really, really cool. So if any one of my graft sticks, I really hope it's that one. That'd be just so cool and unique. And they're really tasty apples. I really quite like them. Gotta be like one of my new favorite apple types. To be fair, I've only eaten one, which I seeded and then started those seeds. But it's made me really want more, because I thought they were awesome. So, yeah, maybe I'll be able to grow more of my own. We shall see. It'll probably take a couple of years before it bears fruit. But hey, if I graft it well, one day it will. In a couple years' time. Gotta play the long game when it comes to fruit tree stuff. That's okay. I have time to do that. May as well do it now, and then be able to enjoy the fruit for a long time for the rest of life. May as well do it in my 20s. Be able to reap the literal fruits of my labor for a long time. Would be very nice. These sides are coming together. Definitely are. I can let that dry a little bit here. It's the best way to put this down without one of those sides. There, do that. Touch up these little spikes a tiny bit. That's what I'll do. Sure is Explorers. Because we are painting an Explorers thingamabob. What is going on here? So, this does pertain to the Explorers of Sky category. Something like that-ish for that point. Let's see here. And then the other one. If I can find a good way to hold this thing. Definitely easier said than done. Okay. Get the little spike here. So they're about the same way down. That one's definitely further. Well, it's definitely thicker. It's thicker for sure. No doubt about that. Point again. Just a little bit longer. Just double check how this lines up. Make sure that we're good. We're good. Take a little bit off there. Whoa, what have I done? Spike going again. It's gonna be a little bit thicker this way, I think. Something like that-ish. Oh, man. Something like that-ish. Probably put another layer on these now. Okay. This is getting close. Probably one last layer here. The ones on the body again. And then like the really annoying ones behind the horn things, whatever they're called. I'll just call them horn things or just horns. That's basically what they are. Okay, might need to add some more to like this bigger surface area thing. There's still a decent bit of blue coming out from there. So if I need to do that, I will do that. Take off some of that. And some other fun recent news. Yesterday I went and played laser tag for the first time in a decent while because all the people doing research projects under my prof, we were able to vote for what kind of activity we wanted to do for semester's end, and the thing that got the most votes was laser tag. So we went and played laser tag yesterday. It was like a big laser tag area, and it's just like whoever is signed up for games comes in and plays, so we were playing against like a whole bunch of strangers. We found ourselves against a lot of teenagers and children that we as grown-ass adults were all playing laser tag against, and it was really silly. So, and I feel like we were really struggling at first, figuring out how exactly to go about it, but then once we figured out the rules of the game, we started really mopping up. Except for like one or two particular teenagers that were just like on a complete another level. That were just completely mopping the floor with everyone. Wait, what was the theme of the laser tag map? I don't know, just futuristic kind of generic laser tag stuff. It was a big area though. It had 2 floors, like ramps on either side that you can go up. You could snipe people from below or above. Or on the... There's this one center area on the upper floor that had like a grate, so you could see through it, so from above you could shoot people below and vice versa. Some like sneaky shots. But I swear, with like an arena that big and like all these different vantage points, every time I'd get back in, I just like immediately get out like so much of the time. Because I had no idea where I was being shot from, because there's like so many possibilities. It wasn't very many like closed corridors or anything. It was a little bit crazy. So it was very much situational awareness of the game. So in terms of like, it was 2 teams that were competing each time, with teams being randomly assigned. The first 2 games that we did, I was around like midpoints to slightly above average. The last game, I managed to get 3rd place on my team. And the first place was a friend of mine on my team, and first place on the other team was the person that was like making the AI for the research project game that I've been working on. And they just mopped up because they found out how to get the power-ups and stuff, and found out that you could get like invincibility by shooting these things on the wall, and I had no idea you could get that. So maybe if I realized that I could do that, maybe I would have upped my game and been a little bit closer match for them. But yeah, I thought that 3rd wasn't half bad. Out of 19, I think, people per team, it was. So not terrible, but not exactly the best ever there. But yeah. Place is the tree near Kurt's house, especially behind the apricot tree. I just read apricot tree. I thought this was on the topic of fruit trees like I was discussing earlier. Okay, I didn't accidentally get orange on that. Good. But nope, it's still that. There's a visible difference. There's the heart that's on the female here across this horn. I know. Okay. Just slight touch up there. Maybe I'll actually let that dry a little bit while I do a little touch up on the pokey bits here. And call these done. I've been streaming anyway. An hour 40 minutes. I mean, including the stream starting soon screen. If anyone watches this as a VOD later, it'll be less than an hour 40 minutes by now. Technically. But in terms of raw stream time, it's an hour 40 minutes. Okay, that one should be pretty good. Let's see here. Oh, man. All the sniffles. I need a good angle to see what the hell I'm doing here. Okay. There we go. Something like that-ish. And maybe one last touch up on the sides here. Mostly dried. I might give it one last touch up later. Like the big surface area part where it diverges. Is what I might just do. Just return to it later. Maybe I should have done the orange lines first and then done the silvery bits here. Because then I could have gone over the area that I need to with the orange bits. And then if I get some on the horns, then I just paint over it anyway. It's not a big deal. Probably would have been a good idea in hindsight. But I didn't even realize that there was orange lines that went here. I guess I should have looked into that. There we go. These ones are a little bit streaky. I don't know if it's as good as the body stripes that I did. This one's a little bit better. Yeah. Oh, man. Jeez. Come on. Get in there. Get in the thingamabob. Yeah. So, something like that for the sidelines. There we go. It's not bad. So it comes down to a point there. I like that. Okay. Now then, the parts that go kind of behind the horns here. So, what I'm thinking here is I might end up doing something like I did with the tail, where it's kind of two that come together like that at the end, the two sides. I think that's what's gonna have to be with the top here, and then the sides like that. So just draw on like, or paint on this polygon here and the opposite one, and kind of get into here and as far under the horns as I can. And then that's it. That's the last lines. I think I'm gonna try and do that. It's gonna be my plan. Also, maybe I'll do like one last touch up on the big surface area of the top of the head there, because that's still got a little bit of blue coming out. Never quite got that all the way. Done. Because it took a whole lot of layers. That large surface area. Let me just touch that up real quick while I'm doing stuff at the head anyway. Make that a bit more solid. The polymon makes it look like it's terrestrial, especially if you shine it with a light. Ooh. I don't know why I made that sound. Trying to be like a spooky ghost, but that's not... I don't know how that really connects to this. Or just like a shining, glimmering effect thing. So... yeah, I'll just do something like the tail, I guess. So it'll come down to a point within there as well, like a little V there, and this one will be like a little V there, and it all kind of connects at that top bit there. Something like that. But yeah, Gen 9 PMD2 remake incoming. I'm almost done. Almost done here. I'm not going to follow that reference too closely. I'm just going to say that these will have their lines or little choo-choos at like the same point. So like where this comes together will be the same on both sides is what I think I'm going to try to make it be kind of like I did on the tail. So got a little bit of orange on that spike. Okay, but it wasn't painted on. Okay, this is the part that I've been dreading, honestly. Could use my finer brush. This is fine in these bigger-ish areas. Okay. Go down to there. Not enough of an angle, I don't think. Also, maybe I should wipe my brush again. That's maybe what I should do. Because it has been a hot second. I might be getting a decent little smidge of dried stuff stuck on there now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just gotta remember not to drink out of this glass here. Wouldn't want to do that. Maybe now I can use this to wipe up a little bit of what I got there. There we go. Now, do this line again, but steeper angle. Better to get too steep than too shallow, because I can always just redo the too shallow one. Yeah, that's whatever way it goes. Yeah, so more area in front. Or there. It's probably good-ish. I think. There. Getting in there. That looks about good. Now, what I did on the very top one is I didn't bring it all the way to the end, like the tail. I did leave a little point like that. You can sort of see it. So I'm going to try and replicate that. Well, that top bit goes farther. I can basically bring these to the end. It's about as far as it goes anyway. These side ones, it looks like. Okay. Yeah. Something like that for the general area in there. Have to add some more layers to that later. So let's get the other side next. Okay. Just try to get in here as best as I can. Is that good? Might be. A little bit in more and then over. It'll look a little bit better if I add some filling to it here. Maybe it does. Does that look pretty even across all of them? Probably. I don't know. This one feels like it's slightly off. Why? Maybe because it's slightly off. You might say, and you might be right. I'll do this and then I'll have a closer look at it. Let's see. I'm not getting enough paint. And these bristles are going everywhere now. This brush is not really going to last me much longer here, I don't think. Okay. So like that? No, it definitely comes out more on the other one. So just extend the spiky on this one a little bit. Here we go. But the bristles are so dang sparsed out now that I just drew like a semicircle instead of a point. That's basically what happened. Which is not what I want. Not at all, as a matter of fact. Go. More pointy. I can probably actually extend this end a little bit to make up for that. Make it pointier that way. It's better. I think it should still be a little bit pointier. If these bristles could stay together, that would be fantastic. Man. Hold together, hold strong. We are nearly there. Just get me through this. Okay. That's definitely a lot better. slightly more out. There. That should be relatively even along there. It's still semicircle-like on the one side. Well, I mean, I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to get that. That's the thing. Where do I put my pliers here? If I can just say use a finer point than I can get with my fingers here. Just kinda. Well, that's better. A little smidge. There. There we go. Better, I think. All right, ran out of that paper towel. I still have this big paper towel on my lap just to make sure I don't get any paint on my clothes. Other paper towel here. But like there, that's a bit pointier on that one now. There we go. My camera doesn't really want to focus. It's better at least. I don't think it's quite as nice. Charles Game Tuesday, nice. That one should maybe still come out a little bit more. Put my knife there. Just the tiniest little bit. There we go. That should be pretty even. That's a lot better. Roguelike 4 players, shadice. I assume from the chatting about it that you're probably gonna pick it up, most likely. I hope you have fun with it in that case. Let's see here. Now that I have lines to follow, like just follow them and it'll stay symmetrical. Should be a lot easier now. Dang it! I say right as I end up getting a whole bunch of orange, like, right on one of the horns there. Dang it, man. Why am I so bad at this? There we go. Something like that. Wait, for which message? Because I'm mostly looking down at this. Might have to repost the thing. But if it's not like $30, nah, fair enough. Let's see here. Because yeah, my concentration is kind of elsewhere. There we go. Add that. And over here. Add some more. There we go. Almost done with this. There's still some other things I could paint. There do be some other things still technically. But this one's almost done. Okay. I want to touch up these. I'm waiting on this. Maybe one last bit on the little side. I thought that was starting to fall over. I just saw the edge of the tail. Little panic attack for a second there. Just one last layer of those spikes. It's added a lot of layers to the neck ones. Let's make this pop out to a similar degree. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna pack this yet. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Well, today, because it's after midnight. You know what I mean. Oh. Fine wasn't super far up, but you realize you could probably share another time. Oh, it's past, like, what I see on screen right now, though. Like, it's past the area that I have. I'm sorry. All the sniffles. And yeah, right now, just want to finish these off. Is the primary goal. So, yeah, my concentration's been elsewhere here. I feel like if I reach over and try to scroll, I'm gonna screw something up. Yeah, okay, share a photo with you on how you got the package sent to you with the pieces. You could follow that, perhaps. Is that about that, like, Grovile Time Gear thing that you mentioned about ordering? That was an unpainted thing. Yeah, I don't know how talented of a painter I am. I don't know how well I'd be able to do something like that. That's probably even finer details than this, I would imagine. Probably, I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, it's still gonna take some layers. Yep, and the Pelmer Squirrel Eevee, that's another thing there? Oh, jeez. So it sounds like I'd have a whole lot of painting in my future if I wanted to look all colored and nice. There, look, that's not bad there. Just gotta finish some layers on these and then do what lines into the horns here I can. Literally just bubble wrap for what packaging or what those are in. Yeah, these pieces will go into a whole lot of bubble wrap, I imagine. There's also one that, while I could pre-assemble it and take it over there, this one that would actually transport really, really easily pre-assembled, but I need to leave it disassembled and the piece in different places so I don't get in trouble with airport security for it looking like a weapon, even though it's made out of plastic, for one thing. I'll leave that in the air for what that is. Getting a lot of Persona things now, or at least 2 in a row. My playlist is still on shuffle, right? I hope. Alright, I can probably start putting on another layer here. If I can get an angle where I'm not dealing with glare. At least. And there have been a few multi-piece things that I've had to assemble. I think this is the only one that needs to come disassembled for, like, ease of transport reasons. And then another one that needs to come disassembled for security reasons. It's kind of the case. Though there's 2 parts that I can put together that I might just do. That I picked up some, what is it? Some ribbon for earlier today. Make of that what you will. So, I'll try to get that together tomorrow. I'm not bringing a ribbon down there just to assemble it over there. Well, if I end up not having time, then I might. But I probably won't. Probably not, at least. Oh, Pelmer Squirrel Eevee's already painted. Oh, I thought, oh, you got the package sent to you with the pieces. And so when you said with the Pelmer Squirrel Eevee, I thought that you were saying, oh, I see now that you just sent me a photo through text of like a whole bunch of things bubble wrapped and stuff. That was a cough, but appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a lot of coughing here. Especially the last couple days. But it's definitely majorly eased up now. I mean, I also cough a lot less when I'm not talking as much. This is the most that I've been coughing today. Now that I've been chatting and all that. But at least this bug is on its way out. That's definitely still gonna take some layers here. No doubt about that. It still looks pretty darn blue. That big surface area there. Maybe I'll just get started on trying to, gotcha, so just that one. When you were grouping them together there, I thought that meant both of the thingamabobs. I didn't even realize that there was a second thingamabob, unless I just forgot about it because I'm crazy. But I do greatly appreciate that again there, Kuzma, you crazy, crazy, generous mad lad. Which is why I wanted to do a generous mad lad thing here. With my first painting in a little while here. I want to do something nice in return. There we go, shove that in there. Probably can't really see much of it on the camera. Just trust. How much I get in here probably doesn't matter too much. Because, like, you're not going to be looking in there in the model. If it's like on a shelf or something. There's no shot. There's no way that I get these lines very good. Oh, let's just rub my headphones against my microphone. Go. Okay. This is the Persona 5 Tactica version of Beneath the Mask, if I recall. Which is really chill. Quite like the OST in P5 Tactica. It was really nice. That was another thing that I wanted to finish off for quite some time, was the P5 Tactica DLC. I beat the actual game a decent while back now. But I just have not remotely had the time to kind of finish that off. P3 Reload has been a couple months since I last streamed that. Because I have not had the time to stream it. Or stream much of anything. Streams are usually 1 to 2 weeks apart lately. There was a time in university I used to stream more days than I didn't. Whereas now it's like every 1 or 2 weeks I'll stream once. Time. Time, man. I need a little bit of paper towel. I got a little bit over a line. I wanted to paint. Hold on, I'll read that in a sec. Might just do the knife thing that I did before. Here. That works pretty good. Now we've Metroid. But yeah, let's see here. Part of you is super tempted to keep the Pelipper Squirrel you think is both through that Mystery Dungeon website you sent, and literally by the last ones, apparently. I wouldn't hold it against you. Like, it sounds like you've already done a whole lot of generous Mad Lad stuff. Now for purchasing everything there, including Mystery Box on March 29th. I republish it every couple of years. Okay, so at least not gone forever, but I had no idea that there was such a site that existed. That's pretty crazy. I wonder if they sell any models of Primal Dialga. Or if they sell any models of Primal Dialga that look as nice as mine does. That I've made here. Maybe even nicer than mine. I don't know. Altogether, despite my struggles with this, I do actually feel like this is turning out pretty nice. All things considered. But yeah, mystery box itself won't come in until later this year, which gonna have to mail out to you. There's a thing with a mystery box too. They order for me. Jeez, you crazy. Makes me glad that I went to the efforts to do something crazy back here. With this little arts and crafts project that I've been crafting for the past while. So yeah, all these lines that I've been doing of like the side of one body and then these smidges of the head and how this has already taken over a couple hours. Just imagine this, but for like everything here. So this has been quite a bit of a commitment here. And considering how crazy Mad Lad you've gone, it makes me glad that I went and did a big commitment project here. But I don't know if I'm ever doing one of these Dialgas again. As cool as it would be to have like one like this on my shelf, and now knowing that I can make one myself, but just like the time into it. I get a lot more motivated when I do things for other people. I don't get as motivated when I'm doing cool things for myself. If I'm doing cool things that are things to give to other people, I get a lot more motivated. That's the way that I am as a person. Oh, man. Maybe there were, but you found it super late, close to the deadline. So maybe there were, and they sold out. Oh well. Here's a cool Dialga model anyway. Best kind ever, one that's personally made, but best friend that will actually have sentimental value to you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I do actually think that's been looking kind of cool here. Whoa. It's almost done. Almost there. There are a couple other things I could print after this. I could paint after this if I wanted. Maybe I'll do them tomorrow. I got a little bit over the line there again. There. Better. I should have been doing that knife strat there earlier in this project. That's actually been working really good. It's my first time trying it. This little painting session here. Just fill in these big areas one more time just with my little brush. That's what I'll try to do. And the other one, I can use it maybe a little bit more than the other side. They're pretty close. There we go. Fill in the orange there. Like that. How the heck did I get some paint on the bottom of his head? How did that happen? Let's get that out of here before it dries. I do not want that here. No thank you. Get that out of here. Not even get there. There we go. Mostly. Get last little bit off here. The things I'm definitely most concerned about breaking on the way are these horns. They can always be re-glued. I think I did that when I reprinted this like months ago. I think one of these broke off when I was taking the supports off, and I think I re-glued it, but like you can barely even tell. Which is good. Because yeah, if it breaks off again, it might end up being what you have to do. Stretch out once in a while, a posture's gonna kill your shoulder. Once I'm done with this, I will. Just in case I end up doing another print here. Yeah, it's probably not the best posture. I mean, my shoulders are already screwed enough as is. I don't know how much more I can screw them up. They are also double jointed, so I have a little bit wiggle room in that sense. I do get some shoulder issues sometimes. More often, though, I get wrist and hip issues. This is the more common one. Alright, this should probably be good on, like, the interior lines. I don't have to go too ham on the inside of them and make them accurate, because, again, you're not really going to be looking inside here all that much, I don't think. There's still some little bits of loose plastic filament here and there, because the material I printed this out of, PETG, it does a lot of stringing. It's just how it is as a material to print out of. Which is really annoying. It can be really nice to print in PETG. It makes some pretty solid stuff. It can take some wear and tear, not just break super easily. But the stringing is definitely annoying. So these fine little details and parts. Definitely a lot of little bits of plastic that have strung between them. And there's been a lot of things I've painted where I've needed to like peel off all the little bits of string filament. Because that's the price you pay when you print in PETG. But this is still better in PETG than PLA. Also, it's the only dark blue I had. Well, I do have a tiny roll of dark blue PLA, but like a very tiny roll. And it's not as nice of a dark blue. How the heck did I get that inside the horn there? No 3D printer, so unable to get you something custom made. Yeah, I very much abused my printer powers here to make cool things. But yeah. Yeah, you are correct. That is indeed. That's literally it. Yeah, I kind of have a little pile down there of stuff that I'm taking on the trip, which, brief sneak peek at a whole pile of crap over there. A lot of that stuff is going to be going to Sate Jam as well. I printed him a bunch of Metroid things since he's big into Metroid. That's what I did. I don't think he's in the stream. I can probably show it. I printed him some cool things. Some cool little projects and stuff. There we go, that's better. I think I got it off. If you're in the light. Mostly. You can see just the tiniest little smidge left. Maybe I can get it. Ah! If I can shove this little bit of paper towel back in there. Just rub that a bit. Give your meat a good ol' rub. Heh boy. No, I can't. I'm still not getting it. What the hell? Just permanently have a tiny little orange dot on the one horn. I mean, that's barely noticeable unless you look on the inside of the horns anyway. It's very slightly there. I mean, if I didn't tell you about it, you might not ever even notice it. It's very tiny, but it's still annoying to me. What the heck? Get that. That'd be great. Darn you! You can barely even see it. I don't even think the camera would pick it up. But, like, it's annoying to me. If I can focus in. It's not gonna focus in. And unfocused, you can't really see an orange dot on the inside of the horn there. But there is one, like, there's a couple, like, right in there. That, oh. Can you even see it on the camera? Yeah. That's not important. That's fine. We'll keep those brushes away from getting areas on the body that I'm not supposed to get. Now just fill in these big areas on the side a little bit more. They're still kind of bluish. Yeah, I think those interior lines are basically done. So just put a couple more layers on these. That might be done. Well, it'll be done once it's glued together. But it'll be basically done. Man, it's so hard to get a good angle without getting glare. I swear. I wanted lots of light in here, but I don't know, maybe I overdid it. Like, I have the room light on, and I have my Elgato light there on max, 100%. Usually when I stream, I have it on 10% for reference. 100% is, like, blaring right down here. Which, I mean, does make a nice, bright paint area. Man. Almost there. Yeah, this side's definitely gonna need a couple of layers. Still. It's still kind of blue. There. It'll take a little bit to dry, and then I'll need another layer on it. Anything else I need to touch up while I wait? These back ones? Maybe a slight bit. Where it connects to the tail. Maybe a tiniest little smidge here, because I still see a decent bit of blue coming through. Man, it's constantly feeling like there's dust in my throat. That's what it kind of feels like. Maybe after this, I'll also grab one of those cough candies. I don't think I have any in my room right now. You know what I could do on one of these inside bits, since there's just gonna be a part glued to here anyway, so you won't get to see the inside long term. I could just draw like a smiley face or something like that in paint. And once it's glued together, it'll just be like lost to time. No pun intended. Never to be seen again if I were to draw a smiley face. That would be kind of funny. Put another little dabble here. Get in that little crease there, please. There we go. And this will probably look a little bit better with the tail here. Yeah. Something like that-ish. Any major plans going on the next day? Like tomorrow? I need to go over to my Oma's place and pick up all the crabapple branches that I pruned off of her tree before I did that grafting. I need to commit as much to my aid paper as I can to get as much of a head start on that, because I don't want to be doing a lot of it during the trip, so do as much of that as I can. I need to do all my packing. I haven't done any of my packing yet. I have my suitcase in the other room there. I'm gonna have to pack like all my clothes. I'll do an inventory of everything. Pack all the 3D printed crap on the floor over there. I had some stuff over here too. I've 3D printed stuff everywhere. I have things on my desk here too that I need to bring. There was a thing that I printed earlier today just because I had like some extra print time. It wasn't on my list of things that I was initially going to print, but I just had it like on my saved models and I printed it because it was a cute little Minecraft axolotl. So I printed a couple of these earlier today. Oh, and I still haven't taken the supports off of the other one if I'm going to give one to Sate. Taking the supports off this thing was a pain in the ass. Tomorrow. So yeah, vitamin C packets here too. Can always let you know if you want to use though. Mix it with water in your set. You know, maybe they have them over in Canada called Emergency. I'll probably be fine. I have been on the up and up. I am actually feeling a lot better today. I should be better by the time that I'm there. What's this little bit sticking out. Just like a little bit of plastic there. I guess printed a little funny. There we go. Okay, I should be able to put another layer on here now. But yeah, you packed last minute too, don't worry. Yeah, I would have been more on top of it if it wasn't for the end of the semester being so crazy. You know, I'm really glad that I'm coming now and not during Mardi Gras, like I know the initial idea was. It was a really good call to be like, yeah, this is the middle of the semester, maybe I shouldn't. Because, my god, this semester has been insane. I think I would have died this semester if I came to Mardi Gras when that was going on in the middle of February. So it is good to do it at, like, the end of the semester here, for sure. Instead. So, definitely a whole lot better of a date. No doubt about that. A lot better for my schedule. But man, are things kind of crazy last minute here. I mean, during this whole, like, printing adventure that I've been doing, I've had that thing, like, jam or give me other issues, like, 3 or 4 times. I think twice I've needed to bring it to my cousin to have him help me fix it because I couldn't figure out how to fix it on my own. And 3 times I needed to dismantle the bottom of it, remove the nozzle, and manually push through crap that was getting stuck in there, and then reattach the nozzle, and then recalibrate the height because now the nozzle is at a slightly different elevation than it was before because we're dealing with like fractions of a millimeter when we're doing 3D printing. So I've had to recalibrate it every time I've done that. And I'm getting so tired of like the issues that I'm getting with that printer and that hot end that once I'm back home again, that's another thing that's gonna be on my list is I'm replacing the hot end of that thing. I'm dismantling the tool head, I'm removing the hot end, and I'm buying the parts for a new one. Like, the mechanical parts for a new... Well, I guess it's not mechanical, but the parts that can't be 3D printed, and the parts that can be 3D printed, my cousin has already 3D printed for me for a replacement. So the whole bottom of the tool head of that, I already have, like, a 3D printed replacement that my cousin made ready for me. So I'll just buy a hot end when I get back and then put that into the part that he printed and then replace my current hot end with that because I'm tired of how many seemingly inexplicable issues that this thing is giving me. Like, where did I put my stakes? Here they are. Like, for my grandparents. So my grandma and grandpa, not my Oma, like my grandparents being my English side of the family there. If I give them some tomato plants, they have some memory issues, so I wanted to 3D print some stakes to label what kind, oh, it's flipped horizontally, I guess, to say what kind of tomatoes they are, because I have a couple of yellow tomato plants. I'll probably give them a pink tomato plant, just so that they know, pick them when they're that color, don't be waiting for them to turn red or something. And I try to do this 2-color thing, where it's like, it's yellow for a decent, but you can't even tell with this glaring light. You can tell on this with this camera, where it's flipped horizontally, and then like kind of a gold here, and then it's like an underline. It's a cool effect. And on the pink one, I wanted to do that too and have it color change to a red, and it just wouldn't accept my red filament for some reason. Like, I put cleaning filament through there, cleaning filament goes through okay. Try to put the red filament through again, doesn't work. I try to put nylon through that machine and then cool it a little bit. And then I pull the nylon out. It's called a cold pull. So essentially you put it in there while it's warm so it melts and forms around all the crap that's stuck in there. Then you cool it down so it becomes more solid. And then you yank it out. And the idea is now that it's formed around all the crap, it pulls the crap out. Didn't really pull much crap out. And I did that like 3 or 4 times. Cleaning filament and nylon cold pulls. And I kept on loading this stupid red here that I wanted to print that line in. And it just would not accept this red. And I tried putting the pink in again. And it worked. And it worked just fine. So I finished this in just raw pink. It didn't print in that. I've been printing more of these pots. There's one on the print bed right now that I can take off. So in case I go to more gardening events, I can give more of these out for free to people that I end up liking because it seems like people really like them. And like, this printed just fine earlier today. It's just my red. It wasn't even melting. It wasn't even warm at the end. So I don't know what kind of weird 3D printing gods are responsible for this. It doesn't make any sense why it wouldn't load the red. And it's this right material. The pink is in PLA filament and the red is in PLA filament and they print at the same temperature. And I printed with that red before. It just wouldn't work and it wouldn't melt. I even tried upping the temperature a little bit as an experiment and it still wouldn't melt. It wasn't going through. So I don't know what's up with that. So I'm just going to completely replace that hot end because I am tired of all the issues it is giving me. And you are seeing some of the 3D stuff there. Some should still be a surprise. Let's put my stakes back on my keyboard over there. Man. See, I'm getting a little bit fed up with that machine, so I'm replacing the hot end. Because that hot end is giving me so many issues. So I'm hoping that when I'm back, I won't get as many issues as I got when I was printing all this stuff to take on this trip. Because, hoo boy, this has been a little misadventure with this printer fighting me and me fighting it. Hasn't been fun. But hey, I got my print list finished. All the things that were on my list of stuff that I wanted to print on this trip is done. Like, I finished my print list. And then I had extra time to print, like, random things I thought were cool, like the little axolotl. I can still 3D print, like, something tomorrow. If there's any last things that you might want printed, Guzma. If there's, like, anything that you think would sound cool. I have one last day that I can print things. I hope it should fit all in my suitcase, I hope. It should be good. Oh, man. Let's see here. But yeah, it's fine. Don't worry, you didn't miss a lot. Plus, Mardi Gras Museum is here, so you can check that out while you're here. Yeah, I definitely will. And I mean, Mardi Gras in general during parades just gets very crowded. Yeah, it definitely seemed like that from the videos. Don't usually get excited for free stuff. Sometimes you do. A lot depends on what they throw. You like to look at all the floats, all the colors and lights. It's really pretty. Yeah, some of those videos that you sent of some of those floats were absolutely insane. I remember I was like in my office there working as you were sending some of those. So my mom that has an office right next to me, I was showing some of them to her, and she thought that they were really crazy as well. That was the case. Just found out you completely forgot to mention, but your grandpa has an apple tree in his back. I assume backyard there that's actually growing apples. Nice. So you got too excited. And doesn't like the red. Says the color and thinks of it as something else for some reason. Yeah, surely it's that. I see you just texted me. Oh, like the apples and stuff. Like, wait, it has apples at this time of year? And they're good for pick. I guess it's a very different climate there. Or are these from like earlier years? If it was easy to bring along, I would bring along some of my apple tree sticks if he wanted to graft a stick to his tree. And then you have multiple kinds of apples on one tree. Like I hopefully have at my Oma's place now if my graft was done right earlier today. We'll see. But yeah, my little experiment with apple trees lately is grafting. Well, with a bunch of fruit trees lately. The experiment is grafting. See if I can get an apple tree. This was last week. Wow. Very different climate than here then. Yeah, things aren't going to be ready until like September. I mean, the things that I just grafted on of September Ruby probably aren't going to be ready this year. Probably be at least like next year. That tree will probably still produce crab apples this year. Which are okay for fresh eating. I don't mind the taste of them. They're just really awkward to eat because they're like super tiny. So you have to like, and then around. And it's like really awkward. I kind of like the taste of them. Most people don't. But they're just so awkward to eat. And they're so tart that you can't eat too many at once. It's the kind of thing where I'll eat like one or two, then it's like, yeah, I'm good. They're not very filling because they're tiny. They're amazing in baking, though. I made some crab apple muffins last year, and they were amazing. It's the first time the apples from that tree have been used for anything. And I'm sure I'll make more crab apples this year. But apples. Maybe I'll make next year, as my grafts take. And maybe I'll have multiple different varieties of apple that I'll be able to try out. And that would be amazing. The side is still a little bit blue. I kind of want to put one more layer onto it. Like, I'm basically done. Maybe I'll assemble this while I wait for that to dry so I can put another layer on. Went to visit them closer to nighttime because you were still busy earlier and they are still awake. Not ready for picking it though. It's still really impressive that they're already formed. Like here, things are just starting to wake up from dormancy. The crabapple tree in my Oma's yard is just starting to open up some of its buds. Which leg was this again? That one, apparently. What way is the head gonna face? What way is gonna be good for, like, the camera? Here, I'll have it face, like, this way. That'll look cool. This is a front leg because it has another line out back. There we go. Back legs. It's gotta be the other side. This one has gotta be... Nope, that one is this side. Wait, what? Am I losing my mind? Yeah, that one is for here. On. This one slots into here. like that. And then the tail goes in like that. Make sure that these are actually together. Man. Move that a little bit out of the way. Pretty good size already. Like, there's quite a lot of them on there too. Nice. Would you ever want to try grafting with a tree like that? Join me in my new little obsession of making multi-variety fruit trees. If it was easy to transport them without getting in trouble with airport security, and things that I brought would actually be able to survive the climate, they probably wouldn't, because it's a little bit too warm there and they're used to cold climates. If it were possible, I'd totally bring some apple tree sticks, like I have a whole bunch in my fridge. Just be like, here's some sticks, put them onto that tree, and now you have new varieties. But I don't think it would work out. Probably be too warm, I would imagine. Also get a huge fine if if airport security just finds like a stick in my suitcase and is like, what the heck? Why is there a stick? What the heck is going on with that? There would definitely be a decent few questions about that. There. It's basically done. One more line on the inside. Maybe one last one. My thin brush here. Say it's food for burning. That's right. Yeah, didn't even know it was there. I visit them quite often, but you don't go in their backyard very often. I went back there to see if the boxes were still there, and you could still potentially plant the tomato seeds back there when they grow to a good size. So seeing it absolutely shocked you. Nice. Yeah, my Oma's crabapple tree, I didn't know what it was for a long time. Just that it was some growth that was back in the back corner. But it started growing like pretty fast. I didn't notice it for a while, and I saw a picture of it from like 2018. It's like a super big thing now, but even in like 2018, it was only like yay big. So, I mean, it's grown pretty fast. It seems like. It wouldn't have been very intrusive during that kind of time. So I guess I just didn't really know or pay much attention to that one particular back corner. But now that tree is turning into a little project of mine as I graft different things to it. We'll see if the September ruby apples that I put on it earlier today take. And then when I get back from the trip, if they take, I'll try grafting on some more things. Well, even if they don't take, I'll try grafting on more things and then just change up the way that I do it. But we'll see if my method worked well enough. There, basically like that. Something like that. Oh, what have I done there? A little goopy. Hardened. Take off with my nail. Oh, what have I done? Hold on. It's a file there. File things down. I don't know how much that actually helped, per se. It a little bit. And we're good. There. That looks not that bad now. Ish, you can still see some slight lines where it's like a nail has come across and scraped some stuff off. That's mostly okay. You can bear it. Well, it's still pretty annoying to me. Oh man. No, some plants grow super fast if they're in the perfect environment, but grow super slow when they aren't. Yep. That's how it goes. Is okra doing the one with a little tiny flower that you sent you? Well, it's not a flower, it's an actual little okra. It seems like it's doing okay. Little okra is growing a little bit. Yeah, this stuff is starting to congeal over here a little bit. The okra plants continue to have a bit of aphid issues that I've been dealing with, both with insecticidal soap and by just killing ones by hand that I see, since they feed on the leaves and slowly kill the plant. So I have been seeing some ladybugs out and about outside. When I was working on that crabapple tree, I did see a few ladybugs around, and ladybugs are a natural predator of aphids. So once it's warm enough that okra can grow outside, I won't have to worry about pest control anymore, because ladybugs should just be able to eat all the aphids for me, and then therefore keep the okra alive easier. Ah, jeez. But Yeah, I've been doing a lot of pest control. Maybe one last layer over here because there's still a little bit of blue. Do one more there. And maybe be satisfied with that. Tiny little smidge over here. Well, I don't have much left on the brush. It's all hardened now. Here we go. Didn't we hear this one earlier, or am I going crazy? Or is it something else? If this is a persona thing, we heard it earlier. Might be something else. There we go. Is it? Yeah, we definitely heard this one earlier. Just take off a little smidge there. Or flatten it down, that works too. Work it a little bit then, that's awesome. Oh, not them. Keel, what the aphids? Here, look. Come on, get in there. Get! How is this the last thing that's stumping me? I fit this in here before. You know, these little alignment pins actually were a little bit too thick at the bottom where it's spread. So I've needed to like file these down so it fits. That's been the case. These ones are a little bit tight at times. There we go, now it's in. There. Done. Ugh, I'm gonna stand up, I think. Holy crap. Standing is a good idea. So that was about 2.5 hours. Literally just for these lines here, and then half of the body lines. Well, not even half of the body lines when you count like the back here and all this stuff, and the fact that I already did a line there. So like just like this line here on the side, then the neck, and then the sides of the head, and that was 2.5 hours. So yeah, I didn't exactly time myself doing the rest of these, but it was a while, I'll say that much. I gotta stand. While I'm standing, want to see some more of my dragons I've been printing for different people? Some of these are gonna just end up staying here and go to different people that I had in mind here. I'll give up, I guess, sometime when I'm back. Well, I'll do that over here. I printed a green one recently, just because I needed to burn some light blue filament from that transitioning spool. I made this guy, and he looks pretty cool. Using that, like, 3-color scheme. Thingamabob. Oh, when it comes to painting, I guess I could paint the eyes of that dragon for Sate. That's what I could do. Or I could do it tomorrow. Well, today, because it's after midnight. That's what I could do. I also printed a mini one recently as an experiment. See how small I could get one of these things while it still worked articulated. And like, it's extremely fragile at the end. I've needed to Gorilla Glue this back on twice. Little bits of that. So I don't know if I'll print one this small ever again, but he is pretty cute. Is definitely the case there. Yeah, I've been experimenting around with different things. Man. My goodness gracious. Nope. I buy them from sellers that sell spools. I wouldn't know how to recycle filament to get stuff here. So, like, this is a dark blue Pet G, for example. Which I technically lied about being out of, but, like, I barely have any left. So I'm saving it in case there's just something really tiny that I need to print. So, this is what this guy's made out of. Right here. And I'm sure that he contributed to a lot of using up this spool. Man, the coughs are really coming in now. Well, not to make lines like this. I know that there's videos that people have done of, like, turning plastic water bottles into thread. But if it's not the exact diameter that a 3D printing nozzle takes, you're gonna jam your machine or worse. So, I have no intention of trying to do that. Because they need to be... Well, it depends on the diameter of your nozzle. This is 1.75 millimeters. And I think they're plus or minus 0.5 millimeters, something like that, because it's not all going to be the same. I forget what the variance is. Does it say on this? It doesn't say what the variance is on this, just 1.75 millimeters. But it's like plus minus 0.5 or 0.1, something like that. Some small tolerance. Because if you're messing around too much with that width, you're gonna break things. Just realized if they end up remaking Explorers, makes you wonder how they're gonna do the painting scenery. If it'll be 3D scenes or repainted scenery. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Shooting, oh my goodness, scenery always been your favorite element in the entirety of Explorers. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's awesome. Shame you came here onto the stream and spoil yourself, though. I gave you a warning when I was starting stream that I was painting a thing that I was gonna bring over there. So I said you can come if you want to get spoiled, but you also get to see like the process behind it and what actually goes into it. What I've been working away at. Essentially what my workflow has been for the past week on the side here. But yeah, let's see here. Super awesome of you to do that. Holy shit, that Primal Dialga is fucking incredible. Gotta make a post about it on the Mystery Dungeon Reddit whenever you get the chance. Nice. Yeah, I actually quite like how it turned out. It'll look a lot nicer once everything's glued into place and isn't as loose here. But that'll be a job for you to glue it. Because if I glue this and put it in my suitcase, this is gonna break like every way. So, pieces it'll be. We can just throw in scrap plastic and it comes out. Yeah, those are things that you can do. I do have some recycled filament here. So, recycled filament is the kind of filament that you use when you don't really care what color it's going to be. If you can see there. Basics PLA recycled, I just wrote the color on it, yellow orangey. So this is one that starts kind of yellow, and then it becomes orangish as it goes on. Don't know what exactly went into this, but something. So I have that recycled filament, and I have like a whitish grayish one. So you can use recycled filament. This is just from a seller. I don't have like a machine like that, but it is a thing that you can do with a contraption that does spin it into 3D printing specific thread. So it is possible though, yes. Man, lots of coughing. But yeah, I have a lot of printing filament. That's all 3D printing filament, all those boxes, and some loosely on the ground there. I have a lot of filament around. It's 2:23 in the morning. Man. Just saw a little heating thing about the size of AirPods. Oh, for melting stuff down. Do I want my hoodie right now? Man. Should we get a roundabout view on this guy? If I can get a roundabout view on him without him falling apart. Kind of have to hold on to all the legs. We're hearing this again. I swear, the shuffle on YouTube playlist doesn't actually work. It just redoes the same things. Let's manually select a different thing. How about this Glitch X City, New Barktown? This is what we do. Use a pulley. Oh, interesting. And 3:30 over there, so definitely getting late. Maybe I'll do a very short Super Mystery Dungeon stream because I'm not going to have a time. I'm not going to have the time to do any streams until I'm back. Will be the case. Oh, okay, let's see here. There's the head. Oh, I forgot the inside of the mouth. If I was gonna do like a dark red in there. I'm not doing an about view on this. This isn't working. It's not done. I missed a part. Ah! No! Everything is falling apart. Stay. Stay. I could do the inside of the mouth really quickly with like some red. Just so... And maybe just do like one layer so it retains a lot of the dark blue. And then it's just kind of reddish, like very dark red there. There's also be getting a Primal Dialga thing over there too. Hawa from one of those things that you ordered, or... Speaking of Primal Dialgas, I almost forgot about the Primal Dialga plush that you brought here when you came here. And I saw it a couple days ago, and so I wrote on like a notepad as a reminder to bring this back. Because I know that those are like those rare, like official Pokemon Center Primal Dialga plushes that I'm still surprised that you brought here as like, yeah, just bring it with you when you come to New Orleans and all that. I almost forgot about it for a hot sec, but you know, with the power of reminding myself, I'll shove that in my suitcase. Please do, lol. So you'll get a official plush Primal Dialga there, and a homemade 3D printed and painted amalgamation thing that I made here. Has my angle gotten steeper? That almost gave like spoilers for something else that I printed there. A couple things actually. I'm gonna do a little bit of red, I think. This is where these other brushes went. I'm not done. I'm almost done. Just get all the orange off of this first. Yeah, maybe it'll just be like an hour or an hour and a half if I really want to push it, stream a Super Mystery Dungeon. Just because I'd like to do a little bit of it before I go. And I was hoping I have more time to do so tonight. But I honestly didn't think this would take me this long, but I should have figured. Knowing how long it took up to this point. And the fact that I was doing some of the hardest parts here at the end. Oh yeah, I remember the box there that you mentioned there. You can somehow find another one. You can absolutely send it to you. What, of another box there? Or no, you mean of that. Kenny ended up getting extremely lucky and bought within 5 minutes. It was posted to the Japanese shipping website. Oh geez. So now I get it just in time. Well, if you ever want a duplicate of this one, tough shit. I'm never making another one of these. Screw that. Okay, let's see here. Come on, red. Oh, and then way too much comes out. That's way more than I need for the... I don't know why this thing just explodes everywhere. Oh, put these paper towels back on my lap just in case I spill some. Okay, just the inside of the mouth. So for reference, right now, it looks like that. He's just like, ah! But it's just dark blue in the mouth, and I need to line this up better. It's hard because I've flipped it. It's mirrored. Does it need to be flipped horizontally? Whatever. We're riding it out. This is an avatar thing, I'm pretty sure. Okay, just rub it around in the mouth there. Then this is the last thing, and I think I'll only do one layer on this one. So it's reddish, dark bluish to just be like really dark red. So it's like you barely notice it. I don't want it to stand out too much, just be one of those fine details that adds to the overall detail of the work. Here we go. Around in there. Okay. Some a little bit to the front there. Go. And now, aha! as this starts to set, it will get darker since it's just the one layer. It's a little bit bright right now. I mean, I am also holding it like right up in the light. It's probably good. No more layers. Just get this one last little corner over here. And technically, this 3D model did have like a couple teeth at the bottom there. One of them broke off when I was breaking off the supports because it was really hard to pull the supports out of that mouth without breaking like the horns off here or the teeth, which you can't even really see it anymore because now it's red, but it's on this side here. You can sort of see it, just a singular tooth that I could paint in the same silvery. And then actually be done. You can barely see it. It's not focusing in this stupid piece of crap camera. So, Dialga here is one tooth. Just because that was like the best way that I could break off the supports without breaking off the actual horns. Because like the actual supports on this thing, I mean, I could show it. I could probably pull up my sliced file here. Let's see here. Yeah, just give it like the kawaii tooth here. All right. No, don't show that project because I haven't shown that one yet. That little meme one can remain a surprise because it's goofy. New project. Did I hit open project? Don't need to save any changes. I didn't make any changes, I don't think. So if I go to printer, Pokemon, Dialga files, head. Here, let me show you. So this is what the actual head looks like in my slicing software. But the moment I slice it, like the supports I put on this thing look like that. Because, you know, the printer You can't just print in midair, and this is a bit of a steep angle. Like, sometimes you can get away with, like, this kind of slope, you can get away with printing without needing any support. But something this steep, I'm not risking that. So, like, a lot of this print was support. So, like, this is shallow enough of an angle where it's like, yeah, once I'm up to there, I can get away with it just printing and not needing the support. Like, what's under there will just support itself. But this extreme of an angle, I did not trust that. Like, no way. So I had to be so careful, like, peeling the supports off of these without breaking these that are so flimsy back and forth. And it was really hard. And then all this crap in the mouth. Like, back to the 3D view. So yeah, there's meant to be 2 teeth here, but I could not keep both of them. Like, it's so hard to break off those supports. Like, especially when I'm dealing with this, where I worry about one of these spikes breaking off. Because if one of those spikes break off, then redo the whole print. Or glue it back on if I can. Luckily, that didn't happen. Because those are the important ones. Those are the big details. And on printing, like, some smaller Dialgas before, those are the things that most commonly break off when you're taking stuff out around the mouth. Like, because it's so easy to break off that crap with the support when the support looks like this. Like, it is so delicate. And yeah, that smaller one, that's probably how that broke. So, I knew taking some time to print this here, I could print as many of these as I needed to get it right. Luckily, this was the first one. Like, it could have been better, I could have retained that tooth. But considering all this crap that I was pulling out, the fact that I didn't break off anything here, and just like a tiny tooth inside that you barely see, I was like, this is the one. I'm keeping this one. Yeah, there are definitely some things that are not very good for 3D printing. Like, this is not a good thing for 3D printing, let me tell you right now. It is definitely not. This is there are some really basic, easy things to 3D print. This is not one of them. I figured it'd be a lot easier printing a bigger one here. Like, it would transport easier, I've got more space to work with, these will be a little bit sturdier. And so I wanted to print a bigger one. And then I was like, well, if I'm printing a bigger one, then I may as well print it. May as well paint it. And maybe I will do a little bit of silver on, like, the one tooth. And it'll be the kawaii Dudo here. I think the body was kind of brutal too, because a lot of things that have like a very flat bottom, like you print those at the bottom and then like that flat side stays at the bottom, or just have like a big surface area. Like this is a air layering ball that put down there. It has this surface all the way around that is on the ground. Or what's another example? It's random Minecraft axolotl where it's like, oh, it's so bright, where this whole flat surface is along the ground. Like, you don't need any, you need some supports for, like, the little fin thingamabobs at the top. But mostly you have, like, a big flat surface to work with. The shape of the body, almost nothing touches the ground. And the entire underside needed supports. Like, everything. These here, like, these, you can't even see it right now. But these spikes here that I'm pointing at on the actual thing, like, these I trusted because of how straight vertical they are to print okay. But these things to the side, I did not trust those, so I put supports there. And basically the entire underside needed supports, because the entire underside is this weird shape. There's no flat bottom that prints, like, flat to the print bed. So everything here was supported. And this was a really big pain peeling that stuff off. Yeah, it does definitely look kind of odd. But yeah, that was how that came together. And then, I guess I didn't save the files for the legs. The legs needed very minimal supports. There wasn't much that was needed for those. But I know that they did need supports. And the tail I printed like this, where it wasn't too bad either. Where it's like, here's a flat side, and you can see on, like, the actual tail, if I take off the tail here, where it's like that, oh, wrong camera. That side there is the texture of my build plate, because that was the bottom here. And you can see, like, the pattern of it drawing the top, where it looks a little bit different, where that's like this area here. Nope, that I trusted to be at a steep enough angle that it could just print it up. It's just these ones that are, like, really across like that, where I worry that the plastic's going to droop. It's not going to stick on itself and support itself. But this bit here, it's vertical enough that it will be okay and not drip. I mean, looking at it here, double check. Yeah, there's no drippies. That just printed okay like that. Because it's a steep enough angle. This angle I don't trust though. This is way too horizontal. So I just put supports there to be safe. I could have test printed it without. Like, I could probably print this whole tail supportless if I really wanted to. But I wasn't taking any risk. I wanted this to be good quality. But yeah, definitely by far, the hardest part to work with was the head. No doubt about that. This was a major pain in the butt. There's something that Grovyle Time Gear statue goes very good with blacklight, apparently. Oh, interesting. I'm getting the tiniest little dabble of silver. For that tooth, this is gotta be a... Look how much extra red is here now because of all that stuff that came out. Okay, there's the tiniest little dabble of the silver. No more. Just give me the tiniest little bit. A drop. Less than a drop. Come on. Oh, there we go, like a drop. That actually came out pretty good. And then my super thin brush. That's also a little bit all over the place. Let's paint that tooth silver. Man. Let's see here. Just take my little drop and reach into his mouth. Be like the dentist, be like, so how was your day? How is school going? This'll be super quick. You'll get a sucker afterwards. Here, just let this dry. Something like this. He has a single tooth. I don't know if you'll be able to see it clearly. But yeah, it's on this side here. Yeah, look, you can see it. Look at that, a single tooth. He has an anime fang now. Look at that. Isn't that sick? It's a kawaii Primal Dialga now. A little extra touch right at the end. Man. Jeebus. All the sniffles. But yeah, extremely appreciate it, but I also didn't have to go crazy on making this. I don't feel cheap because all you're giving you is stuff that you bought. Well, I knew that you were well, two things. One, I knew that you were going ham with some stuff that you bought. I was like, man, I gotta go ham with like some cool stuff. But I don't know if there's any like cool stuff around here that I can buy. And two, I felt bad after you took home that like much smaller Dialga, the one that was like yay big. Like for comparison, like yay big here. As opposed to yay big, and like it broke off, you were saying, and those ones are really fragile. I have a failed print one of those at home, at work, where like the horns here broke off when I was taking off the supports. So that one's at work, and those little ones are so fragile. And I know you had said that like you wanted to paint it, but didn't get the chance to before it broke. And I don't remember if you were gonna re-glue it, and I felt kind of bad, and I was like, okay. I'm gonna print a big one, because a big one like this, it'll have better structural integrity. Brother actually broke the second one, oh geez. Like, stuff like this will stay together a whole lot better than one where the horns are just like these tiny little itty bitty things on like a much smaller print. Where, I mean, I think I still have those for reference, that original file. So I felt kind of bad about that, so I was like, I'm gonna print a big one. And then I was also just like, well, why don't I just paint it and go ham? And then one thing led to another. And I made these plans like months ago. Where's my printer files? Here it is. And go to Pokemon. Dialga low poly. Is this just the whole thing? Don't save any changes because I didn't make any changes. Yeah, that size. I mean, it's a cute little model size. But when you deal with all those supports, especially around the mouth, like, also, these don't turn out super well. Like, they turn out okay, but they get kind of iffy when it's just, like, a couple little lines back and forth, and it's sketchy. I think this is the exact same model as what I painted here, except scaled up and separated into different pieces that someone separated there. But, like, it's the exact same pose. It's the exact same Dialga. Like, the exact same low poly here. It's the same model, except a different size. And the fact that you need the supports here, because otherwise, these are going to print in midair, and you can't have that. where it's like, yeah, you can see there is where it starts printing one of the horns. So if there's no supports here, then that just prints in nothing, and then it just falls. Same with that and all that. So you need this entire structure here for the entire bottom part of the mouth, and then just support like the top of the mouth here. And then there's this whole thing in the mouth that you have to dismantle while trying really, really hard not to break those off. And it's darn near impossible. Like, I did it once. That might have been the one that I gave to you. I failed at it twice. Because I think I gave you one of those ones that was a slight failure. And the other failure is on my desk at work. Or anyone going by that doesn't know that the horns go down is just like, oh yeah, that looks cool. And not realize that it's a failed print. I think it has one horn, but it's missing one of these sides. So like, it's hard. So I was like, I'm printing a bigger one. So those are a lot easier to print when I'm dealing with, let's see here. When I'm printing this thing scaled up and separated into pieces. It's a lot easier to deal with this, honestly. Like, this is a whole lot more supports. It takes a lot more material, it takes a whole lot more supports. And I do still have to do this around the mouth. But when I'm dealing with this scale to take out supports, as opposed to that is like the head for supports, it's a lot easier to work with. So this is by far the easier printed model to work with. It's still not an easy model to work with. It's still a major pain in the butt. But it is a lot more feasible like this than as the little tiny thing like that. And I could scale up that other one, but it would still just be one piece and then it'd be all over the place. I wouldn't trust printing something like this in one piece anyway, like I have with a little one, but something like this is a lot better suited to pieces that you slot together. So props to the person that made the design and upload this online of like the separate pieces, because it prints so much better. It's still really hard, but it prints so much better. But yeah, also it's fucking incredible of you to do that. Dialga's fight to the finish is absolutely the #1 theme you've listened to the most in your life. Not just because of Primal Dialga, but just because the music itself and the meaning and emotion behind it is so moving you. It's so good. It's such a legendary theme. But is this the hardest print that you've made out of all of them? This is the highest effort print that I've ever done because of like the 18.5 hours of printing all these individual pieces, having to tear off all the supports from the bottom, being careful about all the stuff here, and then all the painting time after. The hardest print, there have been things that I just really could not print that have like really sucked for me. Do I have any of them around here? Most of the things I've been printing lately are things that print a lot easier. I mean, there's things like Guardians that I kind of hate printing. They're really cool. I printed this for that Nishara nerd since he's big into Legend of Zelda. And I printed lots of these before. Like early when I got my printer, I printed a lot of these. But when you consider that the first layer of them, where's the Guardian project? Discard, new project. Let's see here. If I go to printer Zelda, Guardian articulated, grab this STL and turn on display capture. When you consider that the first layer on these, if I slice it, it takes a little while because this is a complicated one. On one of these, when you consider that the first layer looks like this, it has all these super tiny little pieces, and if any one of those starts to peel, you risk the entire print failing. And this one, I tried to print this one, it did fail on me a few times. This one almost failed because one of the legs got a little bit fucked up. Which one was it? At the bottom here. I think it was around the front somewhere. There it is. Where it's like, this started peeling here. And so I just tore off the part that was peeling and coming apart. Luckily, it did manage to finish the whole print. Man, this thing does not want to focus. I just kind of tore a little bit of that off, so it's a little bit shallower here. And a little bit bent and not so great looking there. So he has a little bit of a damaged leg. But I have printed several of these before. But man, if my bed adhesion is not like pristine, perfect, and I've not calibrated like the height to be absolutely perfect for adhering, then like these will peel, these will just start flying off in whatever direction. These really like to peel here. These are really cool prints, but I genuinely hate printing these. They're awful. these are the worst. So, like, in terms of as an overall project, this Dialga is definitely the most crazy elaborate thing I've ever 3D printed. In terms of sheer difficulty of just printing it, these, no doubt, the articulated Guardian, because dear God, it is insane. Like, once they start forming together, like, they get to that, you don't really need to worry anymore. It's like, yeah, you're good. One of these starts peeling off, who cares? Like, you're good. And there's never going to be any issues here. I've never had any issue with that part. It's just the first few layers, drawing this, it's... The amount of filament that has gone in the recycle that I've scraped off of my print bed from failing these has been a lot. So, that's definitely the hardest thing that I've printed yet. But in terms of, like, sheer effort in overall project, yeah, definitely this. But these are harder to print. No doubt about that. But yeah, let's see here. Okay, yeah, it's confirmed you're going to genuinely cherish and take care of this thing and try your absolute best to prevent it from breaking. While you're tempted now to buy one of those clear plastic boxes just to have it in case inside, but one that you can actually open up and isn't sealed forever. It's not that fragile. And even if things do break off, I think one of these horns broke at one point when I was taking the supports off and I had to Gorilla Glue it back on, but like you can barely tell that happened at one point. So something like this breaks off, you can just glue it back on. And it's big enough that you can do that. It's not like a super tiny thing like that one that you had before. But yeah. Yeah, the legs, it's awful. Like, you don't have to attach it, it just prints in place. There's no attachments. But the consequences that it's just really hard to print in those first few layers. Breath of the Wild Guardians, hate them both printing and in-game. I do still have the day tomorrow if there's any last thing. I can take this off my lap now. If there's any last thing that you'd like me to try and print. Want me to try and print you one of these? Or just give you this one and then reprint one for Nishara later, since I'll send out that package to him sometime after I'm back. I can just reprint that. Completely up to you. I do have a lot of things printed here, though. So I don't think that there's any shortage. But if there's, like, any last-minute requests, tomorrow is the last day that I have to print things before I come. But this was the biggest thing. There is another thing that I printed that I think is going to be, like, really impactful and cool to you. But it's, like, so much lower effort. There's another multi-piece thing. I'm just putting this back down here for now with my little Nishara pile over there. Ah. All the sniffles, holy crap. But yeah, getting one shot is what happens with the Guardians. Yeah, this actually came together not too bad. I wasn't sure how well it would turn out because I don't really do a lot of painting stuff, but I think it actually came together pretty good. All things considered. It's not too bad. Now I want one of these on my shelf. Just don't have the time and energy to make another one. But yeah. I don't know, Explorers is your #1 most cherished video game. I could also look up out of curiosity. I think I looked at Pokemon Mystery Dungeon in general at one point, and there was only like badges that came up. It's like if I go to printables, I have to reach past this Dialga here now. If I just look up Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, oh my god, what the heck? Curiosity, Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, it's just the badge there. If I go to Thingiverse, what are all these ads anyway? I think this is a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Oh, wait. Thug Life Glass. Hold on. Open that in a new tab. I want to see that. Hold on, then go forward. But yeah, remember, you do have 3 printed stuff to give to you too. Not Primal Dialga, but something related to Explorers. Oh, something that you bought online or found at some event there. Oh, this one has Relic Fragment and Time Gear. That's the case. Is what's on this one. I have all 5 of them too. They're a good, decent size. They're painted and everything. Wait, of 3D printed things? Or of Time Gears? Or wait, what? Of you what now? Yeah, so I guess there's 2 things on Thingiverse. There's one on that. And I saw that there was, like, Explorers badges on another site. What is this here? Celebrate image in the world of memes. Oh, Time Gear is nice. This is just like a... Okay, I guess it's 3 different things that you print and then put together. That is pretty funny. 3D printed. There's all sorts of like wacky things that you can find on these sites sometimes. What the heck? Actually, a really good decent size. I could print a big time gear if you wanted. I could try. I saved some of that dark blue filament in case I wanted to for like time gears. I'm curious, what's on the front page? Ooh, I'm adding that to my likes. More types of dragons that I can print later. I've been collecting different different types of dragon designs because I want to try printing like a whole bunch more different ones. I guess someone remixed that. I saw that design recently. I might have printed it. I thought that was the Night Killer for a second from solo leveling. Like, I looked at that, I was like, wait a second. It was not. Apparently, this is a different thing. Get jebaited there for a hot second. And I guess that was one of the, well, semi-recent, about a month ago. Someone uploaded it. I've never even heard of this before. You want the not Night Killer? The not even a Night Killer? Man. Dice generator. Oh, that's cute. Look at this. It's so fun to just like browse 3D printing models, honestly. Oh, that's cool. I'm saving that. I'm saving that design. I might print that later. Sometime when I'm back from my trip. Wait, what? Check and see if X-Blade is in there. I have no idea what X-Blade is. What now? Oh, this? Pronounced Chi-Blade? Kingdom Hearts? If it's like a massive thing, I don't have the time to print it. I wouldn't have time to print like the Master Sword here where it's multiple pieces. Single piece thing I would. Not a multi-piece thing. 2 files? Oh yeah, I guess it'd just be like a little model thing that you put up on a wall or something. Anything else? X-Blade, Chi-Blade from Kingdom Hearts. It is huge, but if anyone wants me to slice it a certain way so you can print it, just let me know. Can I print that? Apparently one person has made it. They put it up on the wall. And I guess they painted it. I don't have time to paint anything new. But, details. Yeah, I gotta look-see here. I guess I can just click download all files. What is this here? Not sorry. Just trying to get GitHub things earlier.
Keep blade. Keep blade. Keep blade. Keep blade.
What? Okay. Let's see here.
Keep blade.
I already have a Kingdom Hearts folder for my printer files because I printed Carvia some things at one point.
Keep blade. Keep
Come on.
blade.
I love how I still have the other music playing in the background here too. Yeah, WinRAR. Grab this stuff, put it into there. Bleh, bleh. Hold on, let's see here. Get out of here. Thank goodness these paint bottles were not open. Files. Because it looks like it's just like a full... Oh my god, what the... What the... Wait, it's just a full-size file. I don't think anyone would ever have like a printer that big. You would have to split this up into parts. I don't know how to do that. 20%. Let's see here. Still higher than my printer can go. Rotate. Where are the arrows? Show me what way this rotates. Oh, it just blends in. So I turn this like 90. There. And then I do that. Now it fits. Maybe do it like that. There we go. Now it fits on my print bed at 20% size. Like that. So does it just print flat? Oh. No. It does not really have a flat side. I mean, if I moved it like into the thing, then that would force it to have a flat side. And then it's basically like a wall-mounted thing. So if I slice that, for example. Oh, it still needs some supports over here. But that will be flat like that. That's how it's pronounced. The more you know. Yeah, I would just need supports under that bit. That, or I just move it down enough to, or I just put supports under the whole thing and print it like in full 3D. But like, man, that thing would be so fat. If I just click supports everywhere. Oh my god. This would be like a support tearing off nightmare. 3 hours. I can print it, but like, I don't think I have the time to peel off the supports. There might be a lot of re-gluing after things break off. It's apparently the most powerful Keyblade in all of Kingdom Hearts. If you'd like me to print one of these, I can. But it's up to you whether I do it like halfway through and it's like a wall-mounted thing then because it's flat on one side. But if it's like this, I'm not tearing off the supports. I bring it there and then that's up to you. Oh, a physical one already? Okay. Because yeah, that looks like a support tearing off nightmare. Is what that looks like. Foam though, but not 3D printed. Interesting. One cool full-size sword that I have found a design of that I would like to print one day when I have the time. Let's see here. Is someone has designed like a full-scale Monado. Like, is it... There's a couple full-scale Monados. No, not that one. I guess that's just a wall one. I think this is the one where it's like, yeah, where it's like, here's a piece. And I kind of have to reach around Dialga here now. So backspace there. So that's a piece. This is a piece. And it's a full-size Monado. I would like to print it one day. And then for my long hair, maybe do like a Dunban cosplay. I think that'd be really cool. And so like there's these that I guess you can slot like a bar into so that it keeps its form. But yeah, you can tell that that's the front of the Monado. Bottom full, I guess you can just see like for reference, where all together the thing looks like that. So like it's a full-size Monado that you print in pieces. I do have a lot of red here. I would like to print it one day. Is this too tall for my thing? I think there was one way that I tinkered around with that. I don't remember. I don't remember if there was a way that I could fit that. Because I remember just playing around with these files at one point. Yeah, I mean, I could always ask my cousin for like one specific piece. Or a couple. Or something. No. That's too big for my printer. If I want to do a full one of those. Yeah, there's the bottom of the handle. Stuff like that I could do myself. But yeah, it'd be fun to get his help and then do stuff there. Let me automatically scale down. Because this would be like the top full size. Monado top A. Monado top B. So it's like all the pieces. I would like to print it one day, but I'm gonna need a lot of time to print that one. Check if there's an Ifrit for Final Fantasy 16. I can check Final Fantasy 16 in general here. Because they have official action figure models and they're hundreds of dollars, not paying money for that. Full-size Monado sounds awesome too. I don't have time to print that. Probably be like a 30, 40 hour print. I don't even have the space to print that. It's too big for my print bed. One day I'd like to print one, but Final Fantasy 16. Mini Monado is 3D printed. That, yeah, there is that one. I have printed out some more mini Monados recently. All right, this one has Chocobo cookie cutter. There's a design for it. That's actually pretty cute. Little low poly Chocobo, Ascian crystals. Final Fantasy 7 clock. That's not Final Fantasy 16. Mistborn Allomancy symbols. Final Fantasy style gamer plaque. Star Wars and what does this have to do with Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy 16 though. So there's like one thing here that's Final Fantasy 16 though. I can check printables. Whoops. Final Fantasy 16. If I could spell. Dear God. Ifrit like that. What the heck is all this? Is it for sure spelled like that? Yep, it definitely is. Ifrit from Final Fantasy 9. Ifrit. There's some Final Fantasy things. It looks like. I look up Ifrit. Don't know if it's looks like any of those. 16. Young Clive inspired sword. Is this another full scale thing? Files 10, probably. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's just a full sword. I don't have time to print that. And then you put like metal bars in there. I've done that with some swords before. By swords, I mean like one. I printed one sword for my little cousin's cosplay at one point, where it basically fit together with like metal bars. So I went to Home Depot and I bought some brass bars. I cut them to size. I put them in there, so it stays like very firm together. It has a lot of structural integrity. It's pretty cool, but if it's full size, I don't have the time. If you'd like something like that later, I could always like print it and send it later. But that is pretty cool, yeah. It's pretty neat. And it looks like they even kind of slot together with this kind of pattern, so maybe they snap together. So for Tales of Arise, I think I looked into that at one point. I think I did. Where, I think this is like a full-scale helmet. Great Astral Spirit, that looks so hard to print. Tales of Arise logo. Someone has a model for Kisara. Menancia crest. Looks like I have to reach like so far around Dialga here. Nope. This looks so hard to print. I can only imagine the supports on this thing. That looks like a nightmare. Great Astral Spear, I'm sorry for anyone whom I spoiled the plot for. No one's made it. Some people have commented. Absolutely sick, eh? Printing recommendations. How and why? What for 3D printing it? I'm sure it's possible. I could do it, but it's like nightmarish. And supports everywhere. And so much peeling. No, just that? What, the absolutely sick or the sorry to anyone whom I spoiled the plot for? Things. Whistling, spinning dummy bomb. Look at this guy. So what, and did the Great Astral Spear? Yeah, of all things. Look at this guy. Flexy whale. Like a whale shark or whatever the heck. Oh, he's cute. I'm saving this one to my likes. I might print him later. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. It could have been anything else in the entire game that did that. Yep. There's the entire Great Astral Spear as a 3D model in case someone wants to 3D print it. It's there. There's something like that that can be done as like a color change thing. Where it's like this is one color and then like black and then this is white. Or something like that. That's pretty easy peasy there. I don't know if my nozzle's thin enough to get the fine details. Depending on how big it's printed. And that can be changed. I'm starting to get kind of tired. I kind of want to do a very short Super Mystery Dungeon stream. Just to have like a little smidge of it before I go. But it's not going to be a lot. Oh man, maybe I'll play for like half an hour or 1 hour or something. I gotta put my painting supplies here. Over here. Yeah, I've been streaming for 3 hours, 20 minutes here. About. It's kind of been the case. Or about, thanks for looking stuff up though, no problemo there. Put some paper towels back here. Can I? Because this will be the only time I can do a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon stream with my homemade Primal Dialga. So. Oh. Oh crap. There goes the tail. Maybe stand you forward this way on my Switch case. There's a whole bunch of granola bars here. Stuff that I've been snacking on. Here we go. Grab that tail. Then put it there. And oh, this isn't really flat, so it's not really staying still. There's a whole bunch of paintbrushes and crap over here. So, yeah. You can barely make it out. And this Primal Dialga goes here. You got like the derpy one and then the high res one. I still have a couple other things on my desk here that I need to paint. I'll just do that tomorrow, I think. Is what I'll do. It's spoilers for other things, I guess. This one's halfway done painted. And it was one of the ones that model actually came up here earlier, interestingly enough. So much the last few Mystery Dungeon streams? No, I'm just before the Jirachi fight. And, like, I haven't even streamed this in, like, forever. Get this light out of here. I don't want it. Ah, man. Where'd my thing go? Where's my light? Where's the... Huh? I can still do it through my phone, right? But why's my light gone? Why can't I adjust my light anymore? Phone. Still works on my phone, luckily. There, that's more like it. That's more like the way that I like this room. Just realized, is it the same Jirachi as the one from Bidoo's Wish? I don't know, but I'm getting this out of the way, this other camera, because the cable kind of blocks the chat box a bit. So I'm moving it out of here. I'm moving it to that monitor for now. I am starting to get pretty tired, but I just want to do a little smidge of Mystery Dungeon stuff. But yeah, that painting took a while. I mean, if I click only camera, yeah, look at that. Got like the high detail one and like the derpy one there. Ah, my. All right, let's see here. Turn off display capture. I've got a 3D print in the way of my monitor that I need to move. What? And all my paint is falling over again. What did I just do? Did I turn on the camera? Oh no, it was already on. It's just I turned off the display capture. Okay. What stream? I'm not gonna. I'll figure out the number of the stream later. Also, now that I'm not painting, I'm letting down my hair. But yeah, it's 4 a.m. kind of tired, but I'm gonna stick around. Like crap, they're almost the same size. Yeah, similar. You don't have work tomorrow, do you? I hope I'm not keeping you up. Rooms are gonna be filled with Primal Dialga stuff. Nice. All right, last stream before I'm gone until mid-May. Dude, all tomorrow is your 5th day of work in a row. Hopefully much later in the day. Pull this blanket under the desk over my legs. Now that I don't have to worry about getting paint on it. Today, but I mean not till later in the day. Okay, as long as you think that you're gonna get like a good night's sleep. Let's see here. I think that was the Citra that I used. I think it's set to Fire Emblem Fates. It is. I should be able to change that pretty easily though. Turning that off and then turning this on and then on. I just need a little bit of setup here. And then these or this, I think. It'll come up in a sec. Hold on. Hold on. Pause that. It's not coming up. Oh, here it is. So it's not that, but... Wait, is it? Oh, it's coming up from this. Okay, so if I instead do that... Nope. This? What the hell? This? Heck? Fine, some nights when you get home from work, you spend a few hours building your game and then don't conk out, I assume, until 4 or 5 a.m. Then wake up around 10 or 11 a.m. Then your shift starts at 2 p.m. As long as you're getting enough sleep. Oh, turn on the group. That's not the right one because it doesn't match up to the layout. That one doesn't either. The hell? Where's my right captures? It's not that one. It's not this one. It's almost this one, but it's not this one. It's not that. It's not this. I guess this is the closest one, and I'll just crop it? Did something change in my Citra settings? That is very odd. Crop that down by the tiniest little smidge. And crop the bottom of this one by the tiniest little smidge. Like 1, 2 pixels. Yeah, 2 pixels seems good. I I gotta now open my thing. My scoreboard edit. But that's in my Fire Emblem Fates folder. Open this. Then I gotta find the directory for the thing, which is on my F drive, Smash Ultimate, scoreboard edit, select read files. What chapter are we on in this again? Some chapter. And then I don't remember. Let's see. Is there a speck on my screen, or is that just what the apostrophe looks like here? The apostrophe looks weird on this. Very odd. Alright, I can stop looking at the Dialga preview. Realize you're working Sunday night and we go fishing on Monday. Gonna have to head to sleep as soon as you get home. You'll wake up early for the fishing trip. Probably a good idea there. Last stream for a while. I'll just call the stream title. Change the category to Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Here we go. There we go. Meh. Gotta fix my hair here a little bit, maybe-ish or something. I don't know.